It's good, people. We're about to get ready up in a couple of minutes. What's good, y'all? What's going on with everybody? What's going on with the family? We're pretty much good today. We're pretty much good today. Let me lower some of this down so that we can get into it. Oh, that explains a couple of things for myself today. By the way, thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for being a part of it. You know that I'm getting in real early. Normally my streams are very, 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 very much in the late night. Let me make sure that I am fixing up a couple of settings that we are good for this. That should do it. All right. So for one, uh I had sorry for like last night's stream. I was doing a whole bunch of stuff in last night's stream. I was checking about a whole bunch of stuff that was happening in my playlist, in my feed, and I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was very entertaining. I ran across a lot of new channels, new platforms, things that I really don't get the time to really do as much as I would like to. And then you guys got a little bit of a journey on that. Unfortunately, that stream got blocked, so I had to do a lot of editing on that stream last night. Unfortunately, sponsors, things like that, kind of blocked that stream. So I'm still working on it. So if you didn't catch that last night's stream, it was whatever because it was especially for members only. Today is not a members only stream. It is for everybody else. But I do want to go through some things that have been sitting in here, and we'll just get some general thoughts or quote reactions of what's going on. These are some things that popped up quickly in my feed, and I want to go through it because I got time today. I don't really feel like working on too much. If I do think of something, I got a couple ideas in my mind, by the way. But if I do think of something, we will have an opinionated episode today. So we'll see from there. Outside of that, I've been chilling for the morning, taking care of some work stuff remotely, funny enough. And yeah, that's where we are for today. Nothing else planned. I want to play some games, chill. I don't know if I want to stream with that. We'll see what's going on. But I'm very much in a relaxing mode for the day. So we'll move from there. I'm not really looking to have anything really rather than mine. Hopefully your guys' day has been good today. For all that you do. I do appreciate you for anyone that does jump in the stream because they're not gonna really be used to me up there. With that being said, we're gonna find out what's going on some of my things in the feed today. So, what is this? It says, you know the Drake song. I actually don't know the Drake song because I don't really pay attention to Drake like that. So let's see exactly what this guy's talking about.
Song starting from the bottom, now we're here. This song is for him. So we have today Eric Fitz. Well, it's not his family name, but
Yes.
He started as a cleaner, then it went as a waiter, and then as personal trainer, and then model.
Then real estate.
are you in real estate now?
No. I didn't even know what was racism. I just saw it on TV.
Oh, by the way, let me do a quick stop because I don't know what this channel is. It's just popping up on my feed. It says the title of this. It says from a cleaner with no English to successful entrepreneur. Interesting. The channel here. I want to make sure you guys get to see this as well. Let me do this real quick. Oop. Do this properly so you guys can see it as well in real time. The channel here says CHEKD Talks. That's the name of the channel. You said I don't. You say echoes. I don't have echoes. I literally have echo cancellation and everything up. Hold up. Let me listen to it. Let me listen. Nope, I'm not canceling. Yeah. No echoes on my side. No. Yeah. It's a one echo. I'm not really sure what that is. I'm literally playing off a StreamYard, so I don't know where you're saying that's coming from. I'm not playing anything in the background. You said the video echoes. It's literally coming off a StreamYard. I can't control that. If I play it from my side, we'll have to see what goes on from there. But this is literally from StreamYard. And as far as I know from my replay, I don't have anything that's really a bother. Hold on a moment. Okay, so I got a little bit about what you're talking about. The video is echoing. Okay, so I'm not echoing, which is weird and a change. Yeah, it's a believe me or believe me or no, up to you. It's not about challenging. Like usually people are saying that I'm echoing or somebody a guest is echoing or whatever. The video's echoing. That's different. That's new to me. Normally I don't have that. So I don't know what to do about the video echoing. Let's see if I can make a couple of changes here and we'll see what flies. Could that mean it's a systems thing? Hold up. I'm going to do this. Let's do this. And then you guys let me know what is what, because I have a feeling it's going to really mess with my microphone, but let's see what happens here. Made a couple more adjustments.
I come from Cameroon. I don't know culture, shock. I don't know any of that. All I want is a job. Even if I experience it, my brain didn't process it because I didn't know that.
There's no great.
I'm not sure what's what. Yeah, I'm hearing it now. It's still bad. It's still bad. I don't know what's going on. This really doesn't have anything to do much with me. So let me change a couple of settings here. Let me change a couple of settings. See what happens. I think you know what? I might know what it is. Give me one moment. Let me go look at my program. We're doing process of elimination, folks. Process of elimination. I think I got it now. So I'm in StreamYard, but I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is my program. Let's Moment of truth, folks. Moment of truth.
Racism to a certain extent, but there's some people, they come from the West world or they come from another part of the world and they bring their racism with them.
At some point, I was like, okay, maybe I should just go to the police.
And tell them, guys, just send me back home.
Game over.
Bro, I was in that open day. I swear to God. I was in the open day, bro. It was a huge line, like a huge line.
10 car of police, like the whole airport was
huge,
locked.
All right. So it seems like, that's what it. So the audio that's coming from StreamYard because of the browser, my other audio was open in the channel of my mixer, so therefore it was creating double audio. Thanks for pointing that out. That's something I'm going to have to try to pay attention to for the future, because this is a new mixer that I'm dealing with, so we're gonna have to figure that part out. It's either this or whatever. But thanks for pointing that part out. It's good to know that I need to figure that out, because we're always building as we're flying it. I know, like, a lot of people like to come and say, "Oh, well, I got a problem with this because production isn't already up to par with it." You know what? We already went this with Q2. We're in Q3. Eat a dick if you don't like it. Sorry if you don't have the most picture perfect production. If you think it's as easy as you claim it is, try it yourself instead of sitting there and complaining. Anyway, happy that you pointed it out. Something that we can all get together and work on as well. Thank you, Sasquatch, for pointing that out. Now, I'll have to make a mental note before I can jot it down as a checklist point to take a look at it. People think this is easier than it looks. You know, I'm just gonna click on a button and I can just do everything. It's all gonna work perfectly. Suck it. It's not that perfectly. And I think I have great people like Sasquatch who can actually point those kind of things out. Yes, I'm happy that you were here to point it out, because I wouldn't have known otherwise. So thank you for actually saying so. Anyway, let's get into this channel, because I don't know anything about it. I'm literally going through new things.
Africans. And if you're asking, I'm African.
By the way, I'm not used to seeing like Indian people holding a show, whatever case may be. Even if he might be American, whatever. Let's see what's happening here. What was this? Oh, okay. Cleaner who came from no English to a successful entrepreneur. Interesting.
My host here, she's African as well. How's her again?
She's
anyways,
African.
Us Africans,
Okay.
We're a little bit struggling in the world when we leave Africa and we want to start a new life somewhere else. But thank God we're in a city, or we're in a country where we are.
Well, it's a good crazy mama.
We have more chances comparing to Europe, comparing to the US.
Play Foundation in the building. What's up?
Today, me and Hajar, we were lucky to invite someone with, I think, the most interesting success story in Dubai. According to me, is the most interesting one. This guy starting from really the bottom, you know, the Drake song, starting from the bottom, now we're here. This guy, this song is for him. So we have today Eric Fitz.
So by the way, so being the fact that I would say I'm going to take a guess that a lot of us who are here in attendance are American, right? I'm going to take a guess. A lot of, because my algorithm says the majority of the people who actually watch my channel are American. But at the same time, I do have a lot of people who come from across the pond, whatever the case may be. Some people in Thailand, some people were in Cambodia, some people in Taiwan, some people in Australia, some people even in the UK who are watching me. So if you are, I know it's nighttime for you. You're probably trying to do whatever. And you normally don't see me. Look. Now they're saying echo. Echo on what side? On what side? What's an echo now? You said it's an echo for the video. Now it's no echo for the video. What's going on? What? Now I legit don't hear an echo. I just played back the stream. I don't hear anything that's an echo. I don't know what you're listening to. I everything on my side, cancellation, everything is good. I don't know. Oh, now my fucking Discord's going off. Oh, you guys are gonna drive me crazy today. I swear. You guys should give this a try if you really think that content creation is just perfect and you guys will be awesome at it. You should. I clicked someone's Discord and I didn't mean to. Of course, that's the way that works. Hold up. Let me get out of their Discord. It's so easy to fall into someone's Discord. It's ridiculous. Anyway, but what is it that you think that you're hearing now? Because now I played the stream back and I got this weird gnat that's driving me nuts. Like a baby gnat that got laid in my freaking room somewhere. Well, what are we hearing now? You said the same one came back? How? This is why I hate StreamYard, folks. Unless I can pay for like that business internet, there's not much I can really do about it. Yeah, my settings are the same. My settings are good. My settings are the way it's supposed to be. So I'm not sure what it is. And you said it was happening wait. So just do me a favor, folks. One, if the video's echoing. Two, if I'm echoing. Because before the video was echoing, then I started seeing a whole bunch of people saying echo, 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 echo. So is it the video's echoing or am I echoing? Because I swore I just fixed the video. You said the video is echoing. I went back here. That's fixed. That's what it was. What the fuck? Well, what is it? So everything has changed there. Freaking bug. What you said? When the video is playing, you said when the video is playing, the sound, it plays sounds. And if you are not muted, it's playing through something. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do. And if I do that, if I literally do that, you're not gonna hear me at all. Love from Kentucky, y'all. What's going on? David Wayne in the building. Appreciate you for being here. Thank you for talking to me. That's for saying that as well, Alien, to try to give me a little bit more clarity what's going on. Was playing sound from your mic as you're listening to stream, which is weird because quite frankly, I literally took down my side of the sound when it comes to StreamYard. So you shouldn't be hearing anything from my mic at all. You should not be. I'm looking at my settings right now. My side is cut off. You should only be hearing me talk on my stream mix side. So there's something going on between the browser and the mixer as well. So I'm gonna turn. Sorry, that's work stuff. I'm not gonna try to listen to work. I'm gonna boost this down, which I really can't hear much, to be honest with you. Rather, I'm not gonna be able to hear what's really going on in the video. Let me try to put that at a decent rate. I'm gonna turn off AC because I'm having a problem thinking. Sort this out, sort that out. Everything else on my faders are mixed, so you can't hear anything. I'd rather you shouldn't be able to hear anything. And for a quick, let me know what's going on, where you can hear it. But shout out to you being in the building.
It's not his family name, but like Eric.
Yeah.
Fit is not his family name, but this is how people know him.
That's fine. That's cool. Hi.
How are you, bro?
I'm very
All good?
You?
So what's your family name, by the way?
Akoa.
Akoa. Eric.
Yeah.
Oh, Akoa is cool.
Yeah.
Like, it can be a brand.
Are you guys everything?
So Eric, we're happy to have you here.
Thank you.
People who picked this episode, I'm sure they will have a lot of insights. They will go
CF
through your
says
journey
5 by 5.
because I was amazed that reel you posted. It was 60 million views.
Yes, exactly.
60 million views.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't do anything. I didn't change anything. So either you guys are fucking with me just for the hell of fucking with me, or something was wrong. Because I didn't change anything. I legit didn't change anything. Maybe some of you guys are not refreshed, you're not caught up, whatever, but I literally didn't do anything. So you tell me, either we trying to ignore what's going on, or we just trying to fuck with the stream. Which one is it? I don't know. I'm willing to take your word for it, but if what it is, because I didn't do anything. So now I'm again, I didn't change anything. Some people say I'm good. Other people say I'm echoing. You know what I can just do right now, right? I could just cut the stream off and I'm good. Either way. So which one is? You say just playing. I'll cut the stream off, Jeremy, and then we'll just be done. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and do the stance. Either you want to stream or you want to troll. Which one is it? Because when you do that, you're being funny, but you're fucking around with everybody else as well as me. You fuck around with everybody else, and then we're not good altogether. And now we got to stop a stream to do shit that doesn't need to be done. So what is it? Look. Emperor's gone. Cool. When we do that, we fuck around with everybody else. It's not just me. You guys think you're just fucking with me, but you're fucking around with everybody else who's trying to watch the stream. You fuck it up for them. So what is it? You said it's good now. Go ahead. All right. I'm just saying. You make this more difficult, not just for you, but for everybody else.
And it was organic. And it was like you posted it. Were you expecting you will hit 60 million?
I expected 5 million because I wrote it down when I posted.
Oh, you visualized it?
Yeah, I still have the note with the date before.
Let's be mindful of everybody else, folks. Not just about you.
5 million view.
Did you edit it?
Yeah, I did edit it.
You did the editing?
Yeah.
And you were like this because the story was very, very potent.
Yeah.
So this guy, basically, that they're interviewing right now, I don't know who he is. He's basically someone who didn't even know our language, came in, been able to come up across the board, has become, quote, a successful entrepreneur. By two people, one looks Indian, the other one looks, I don't even know, I can't even really, she looks ambiguous right now. But apparently they're both African. So now hopefully we've caught up. We've been derailed for a bit now. So now let's catch up.
Because what was interesting is that you started from I will not say lowest, but like what people start usually when they don't have English, because you didn't speak the language.
Yes.
You didn't have a lot of skills outside of your country. So you came to Dubai 2017, starting from a waiter. Cleaner, yeah. Man, even worse. Respect for all the cleaners. I love you all. But being a cleaner in Dubai is a hard job.
It is.
So from cleaner, fast forward 9 years, I think, 9 years, you're sitting now on your own agency, having one of the best courses on how to be a content creator and a model. And you have your own agency.
Yes. So basically,
he was a model.
He's teaching his own success story.
Yeah. So let's come back to the day you posted that reel. When you posted that reel, it was like a couple of years ago, 1 year ago?
Yeah, 1 year, exactly 1 year ago.
So exactly 1 year ago, you were like, listen, I made it. Let me post this reel because it represents all my story in Dubai, right? You visualize it 5 million, you post it, boom, 60 million. Where did you stand before posting that reel? What Eric became during that day?
All the awakening point.
Where did you reach?
So during that, I was actually in vacation in Zanzibar, and I was just chilling, and yeah, I was just like, okay. But the thing is also, before that reels, I was already making reels, trying to tell my story.
Okay.
But like any reels like never blew up. Like I was posting reels like, I was cleaner before, now I'm a model. People was like, yeah, it's cool. One reel, the most view that I got was 200,000 view. And then the other one was getting 10,000 maximum. And then I just kept posting time to time. But then,
and we say he had a little bit of luck of just being able to say that he can just pull up small reels, and he was already getting 200,000 views. We're not talking about revenue. We're just talking about viewership, people actually watching. That's a bit of an accomplishment. He was cleaning places. He wasn't really doing all that much. I just want to know, I kind of want to know how he got into cleaner because they said model, how he got into cleaning and how he got into model, and is he an entrepreneur as a model? Because they never really said what his business is, how he's actually making a shit ton of money as an entrepreneur.
when I saw another video where a guy like an American young guy, he edit his like his video and he was selling thing and then he did drop shipping and everything. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the same. So I took the time to go back to my old phone, take some old video of me and put it together, tell the story. And even me, when I watched the video, I was like, damn, like his video got 60 million views. I hope like mine will get at least 5 million views, you know. And when I posted,
what's good, Ruck?
I scheduled the post and then I just slept.
Heidi's in the building.
And
What's
I
up?
woke up the next day. I think I was flying back to Dubai, and when I landed in Dubai, I think the video was already at 1 million, and people was messaging me. The video grows so fast. It was like 2 million the same day, 3 million. Like it just kept growing, you know. So
it was a boom.
It was a boom like that changed your life. So basically the story will be before and after the video. But let's go with what happened after the video. Then we will go before, right? So you posted the video. 1 million, 2 million, 3 million in like a week. I don't know how many millions you hit the first week. You were just a model back then.
Yes, I was just a model, and I already had my course.
You had the course.
The modeling for what?
Agency, but people didn't know the agency yet, you know. So people knew me, but not very much. You know, I had like 80,000 followers because I've been in Dubai for so long. I was creating content. I was fitness influencer. I was doing a lot of things. So few people. I was model back home, so few people know me, but I was not like well known in Dubai.
By the way, Eric is tall. I mean, in the videos, I didn't expect him to be that tall, but he's a tall guy.
Is this the new thing that we do for? Is this the new thing, guys? Is this just a new thing that everybody just screams out echo? Is this a new thing? Is this the new way of trolling? Like anyone who just comes, you just scream out echo. There's an echo. Because literally there's no echo. I got my phone. I have my laptop. There's no echo. So is this a new thing? Is this a new way of believing that we're funny? I got some people saying it's an echo. I got some people saying there was no echo. I got my laptop. I got my phone, 2 different devices, and I didn't hear no echo. It walks in the daylight. So what is it? Either we're hearing things or either we're not doing things. No, there's no panel. There's no panel. What is it? Appreciate you, Mayo. He's a day walker. You definitely hardly ever catch me in the day these days doing this. But so what exactly is it? It's echoing. It's not echoing. It's partial echo. It comes in and out. Or if you're not really paying attention, what is it? Either we're not paying attention. We're doing our own thing. Maybe it's your signal. What's going on? You say it comes and goes. You don't know why. I don't know why either. But here's my next thing. What do you suggest that I do to fix it? At this point, I haven't changed anything. Do you want me to not use StreamYard? Like instead of just screaming out, like how about this? Because we build this thing together. It's not just me. Again, more trolling. Be taller. I'm as tall as you. I need to be taller than you. Ruck, you're pretty goddamn tall. I'm as tall as you. Be taller. Any other suggestions? Anything else? How about something helpful? Anything? That's obviously like it's not about. It's apparently it's not about money. It's not about time. What else is it? What else? Either we're going to try to go through the talks and get through what's going on and try to have a good experience, or we're just going to sit here and stop the show. And if we're just about stopping the show, I got other things to do. Like time is the most important commodity that we have. I could do something else. I got work that I don't even touch until tomorrow. So what are we doing here? If that's the case, I'm not even going to worry about a show later tonight. If this is what the atmosphere is already going to be like in the daytime. Thank you, Mayo, for the $10 per day for the day walker. So what are we doing here today? What are we doing, folks? You say try it and flow with it, but it's the most prevalent thing on your mind. So again, so now as a collective, we're all here as a group. What are we going to do to solve it? Instead of just calling it out, because apparently you guys know more than I do as to how to fix it. I would like some suggestions. Instead of just calling it out, what are some suggestions that since apparently you guys must know as much, if not more, what should we do it? I did, Sasquatch. I did. I absolutely did. People are still saying echo while I'm muted. People are screaming echo while I'm muted. So what is it? I'm unmuted. You say echo. I'm not. I'm muted. You say echo. What is it? Instead of screaming out the word echo or repeating the same word echo, what is some suggestions that you actually put forth? Zoomer says he blames tariffs. I don't blame tariffs because tariffs only affect companies that's going into the U.S. It has nothing to do with us. So what do you suggest? Instead of you talking shit, what do you suggest? If you really want a decent show, what do you suggest? Because I don't hear no suggestions. I just hear complaints. Nothing? Getting taller is not a solution. What? Zoomer says we're going to just adapt, but apparently we can't just adapt because we have to call it out. So what's happening here? You can't just say just do better because what do we have to do better by if we can't identify what the cause is? Help me help you. Help me help you. You said play it. Are we sure that I can play it?
So okay. So when the boom happened, 60 million, I think it will create some opportunities. Social media created a lot of opportunities.
It did. In again 200,000 followers in 2 weeks. Only from that video. And then any video that I was creating was just going 300K, 400K, a million. And then I keep getting follower. So, and a lot of celebrity message me. Celebrity from Africa, celebrity from US, say footballer player, basketball player. I was like, damn. Yeah.
Wow, the magic of
I'm
social.
sure that made you feel good.
Yeah. And as I was about to say, it does make you feel good. Like you're like, wow, the world is literally watching you right now. You know, you put a story, you see 100,000 views in the story. You're like I was scared at the beginning.
Yeah.
The first day I was
Of
scared
course.
because people was blowing my phone. People was seeing the video in Germany, in Africa, in America, and people was messaging me. People didn't talk me for 5 years ago. They was watching. So
yeah, all the girls in Cameroon were like, download.
So I was like, damn, like I even thought about taking the.
Okay. Apparently he had a really good modeling career. I'm trying to figure out where exactly that he actually did something. Oh, they didn't update their video. I'm trying to figure out where exactly he actually do something. We're not talking here about his modeling
Cleaner
career.
does not define me. You know what I'm doing does not define. But people when I blew up, some people still view me as the cleaner that they knew before. You know, and the African who didn't know how to speak English before. Where back home, at 21, I was making a lot of money. I was still living with my mom, but I was making a lot of money. I had my own business. I was selling protein for gym. I was the only one in Cameroon that was selling protein, and I was doing modeling as well. So I was very happy in Cameroon. I had my car. Like, for a Cameroonian guy at that age in Cameroon, it's big.
Yeah.
You know, but still I choose to leave all that and be like, I want to see more.
Yeah, I want a new mountain. I want to climb a new mountain.
Exactly. So when I was cleaning the floor, I never thought, like, I knew there was something more for me.
Yeah.
I was just cleaning, like, okay, this is just the beginning, you know. I need to learn a lot of
Just to learn
things.
English. This is just to learn English.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
Well, I like what you said. Like, you knew you were you were the king, even when you were cleaning. It was just a matter of time. I like that. I have that mentality too, even though people, they say it, oh, you're overconfident. Who do you think you are? But yeah, I know who I am. But anyways, I'm not talking about that side.
Okay. I mean, yes. I will admit you need to have a sense of confidence to be able to push yourself to that next area. I don't know about the king. The king is a rather high title to give yourself. We've already heard he was sweeping floors. He didn't know English. He was doing modeling. Like, I'm trying to get to the point as to when was that turn of events, because right now he just started saying that he did one post, it got a lot of views, very interesting, and then he turned around and started dipping into old content, or rather old videos that he did, and started posting those as well. So again, and a lot of things that a lot of people don't want to turn around and take a look at, which is very, very important, but a lot of people want to try to overlook, and I think that people have a lens that they're literally trying to overlook, and that is the fact that luck plays into everything. People just want to believe that if you just work hard, that's enough. It's not. You can work hard, but if you don't have a little bit of luck, it may not mean anything. It may not. People don't realize that luck plays into a lot of factors. When you're born, how you're born, where you're born, who you were born to. Why did you do what you do? Like, a lot of people just want to believe that it doesn't matter where you are, so long as you just work really hard, you're going to be able to make it. And that may not be the case. That is most likely, I'm going to say that, not going to be the case. So I want to get into the point where he's actually talking about not so much in his days just reliving shit.
Talking about when you blow up in socials, when you are known, did you go through a phase where you felt like you had a character change, you start becoming obsessive of the views? Because we all go through it. I went through it.
Yeah.
Like, you go through a phase where you think that that fame consumes you. And then you have like, no, I have to separate myself from this. I have to stop being obsessed with this. Did you go through that phase?
I think, yeah, definitely, but not for too long, because I'm not used to that, and I always knew that. Listen, Instagram, it can disappear tomorrow, or tomorrow you can be banned or anything.
Yeah.
So just calm yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it's not about that. You were like I was saying, you were doing things before you blow up on Instagram.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's okay.
Definitely.
Okay, now let's go to the sauce, to the money.
Finally.
I'm not gonna ask you how much money you did after the video, but like, did your financial state increased after that fame you had, especially after that video? What happened to the agency? What happened to the course? I mean, how did you take advantage from that
Of that
opportunity?
fame,
So, to be honest, I don't think there was a big change. You know, I was already making money before the fame. And before I blew up, I was already making money. So when
Cleaning.
I blew up, it was
Modeling.
just like a time for me to just chill, and then the money just.
And that time you had your courses already.
Yes.
And
What?
a modeling agency as
Yes.
well. Okay.
And I was begging, like, I was promoting video, begging people to buy the course.
How
you know?
long you had your modeling career before you start your own business
Good question.
as a teacher?
So that's a very good question. I started full-time modeling in 2021.
Okay.
Yes. And I started the course and teaching in 2024, last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
He said 2024. That's when he just started doing the calls and stuff. But he's been trying to do this modeling gig since 2021. I don't know. He said it doesn't sound like it sounds like he's had a lot of luck on his side. I'm just gonna put it that way. It sounds like he's had a lot of luck on his side because he doesn't really sound like he said that he's done anything outside of sweeping the floors and have to learn English. Not easy, by the way. I'm not gonna take that from him. But the idea is that he didn't really do all that much, to be honest with you, to become quote successful. He just got lucky. No, again, I don't want to take anything from him because this is not an easy thing to go through. It's not an easy thing to separate yourself from. But I think a lot of people go through a lot of this idea of that you have to do this and you have to do that and you have to get yourself in the game and this is the only way that you're going to be able to quote make it in the world. And that's not always the case. It's not always the case. Sometimes it really is just acknowledging the fact that you got lucky in the game and you took advantage of an opportunity that just came to you in the moment. I don't think they're really acknowledging that, even though that definitely seems to be exactly what the case is.
You really worked for 3 years as a model.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not easy
3
to make it
years.
as a model in Dubai. So if you made it, but also you had, if I'm not mistaken, I know it's before the video and before the fame, you did personal training.
Yes.
So it was personal training and modeling. That was your full-time job, or
Hold up,
just modeling?
stop.
So then you
So he's modeling, he's full-time, he's training, he's full-time modeling, he's learning English, he's cleaning the floors, he's doing a modeling course. Then only as of last year, he's actually doing actual like coaching calls or whatever. Like there's a lot of stuff that's missing. There's a lot that's missing in between. And like, again, we're not even really far in the video. So I'm going to skip a lot of context because if anything, you guys can check it out for yourself. You're into the channel, you're into the particular stream. I need to know when they're going to get into it because they're really not digging into anything. You said, so the body came first. Yeah, pretty much. Well, the mind came first. The mind came first. The body came second. And then it's the way how I'm looking at it. You tell me if you agree, Ruck. The mind came first. The body came second. The luck came third. That's the way how I'm looking at it right now. He had to have the mindset to at least start to be ambitious enough because working is just working. If he just wanted to be a janitor and just sweeping the fucking floors, he was just going to be a janitor, sweep the fucking floors. But he had to have the mindset to say, I want to learn English, the mindset to say that I want to start over in Dubai, but then also the mindset to be able to, quote, start a modeling, to be a modeling consult. Because he didn't say he started a modeling business. He was a modeling consult. And to the point where even like last year, now he finally took that modeling consult from 2021 to now he's doing personal coaching as of last year. Sure. I don't know why he's being hailed as a big deal. I'm trying to understand that. So I feel like I gotta push a little bit forward because it seems like they're dragging the idea of how this interview is going to be working out.
it's
3 days. Yeah.
Damn.
That was painful. Cold and you're hungry. I didn't prepare for that. Like I didn't
you
know I
thought
was
it gotta
gonna
be fast.
Yes, exactly. One day they tell you one day you come, the visa come, you go out. So I stayed 3 days in the airport, cold, hungry, and then we just chill. And then when the visa come out, you're like, okay, now you're prepared. The next visa change, I went dressed up, hoodie, everything,
Yeah.
food in the bag, everything. I was like, even if it's 1 week, it's fine, So
Oh no, I agree, Rock. Not trying to take away anything from the man doing his work. Yeah, I agree with that. We're not trying to do that. It's just a matter that I feel like they're really dragging it, so we really don't know. We really don't know much. Listen, this is the way I'm looking at it right now. You guys tell me whether you agree or disagree. We're not really learning anything about the man. They're just kind of highlighting things that he did to get there. They're not really asking questions as to what his mindset was, what made him make those kind of decisions to get there. They're not asking many questions as to, do you believe that it was an easy decision to make? Do you think other people can make that kind of decision? They're just, honestly, they're just glazing the motherfucker. They're just glazing them. They're not really giving anything. They're not really asking how this can inspire other people. They're not doing any of that stuff. hey, what about other people who might be coming up, who might be, or even might be sliding into your position as to how you were when you first got started? What's some advice that you would give them? They're not doing that. I had to skip all the way until I saw the halfway point. So we're talking about 30 minutes, 33 minutes, and they're still glazing the motherfucker. What benefit is really coming out of this interview is the thing that's in my mind. Because I'm not hearing it. They ego stroking.
Yeah, I was doing that. I was training. I had like maybe 1-2 clients, training them, do visa change, food, and at that time I was like, okay, I need to apply for Emirates. Now my English is a bit better.
Yeah, because now you're like a freelancer, you're a hustler.
Yes.
So your language it get better.
Exactly. So I need to apply for Emirates. So I was like, apply first for Emirates. Via email online, they reject me. I was like, no, it's no problem. I apply again. There was first the opening. How do you call it? Open day.
Open day, yeah.
I'm sure if you've
Which
been.
year was it? Which open day?
Wait. That's what. Well, I'm sure if you've been in Dubai for like maybe more than 10 years, or that open day. It was in 2019, I think. Yeah, 2018 or 2019. Open day in the airport. There were at least 20 or 50,000.
Bro,
people.
I was in that open day. I swear to God.
Okay. All right. This I don't know if they have other interviews or whatever that's like this, but I'm gonna be honest right now. This is a lot of ego and dick stroking. This is the equivalent of what has been said, especially in the space that we know, is dick holding. You're right. No Chaser, you are absolutely right. He's not saying he was living in his mammy basement, bumped his head into the washing machine, and came up with his own ideas. He's not. He's been following the plans of other people, but they're not just admitting the most important thing. It was just luck. He's not saying anything of substance. In fact, it is the host that's giving him the blueprint. But you also did this, right? Yeah, you was the shit in this too, right? Yeah. And there was that time that you did this, right? He's like, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, this is what I did. Thanks for reminding me to tell you what I did. But how did you get to that mindset? Would have been like, you couldn't have a motherfucker like me. And there's plenty of motherfuckers like me, by the way. But you can have a motherfucker like me sitting there across, while, by the way, his co-host is quiet as a fucking church mouse. But to sit there and be quiet and not challenge the motherfucker. Hey, how did you get to this mindset? What was your low point that made you shift to get to this, to say that you need to be serious about your mind? What made you? I didn't even hear. What made you really get into modeling? I heard that you're a cleaner. I heard that you're a model. What made you think? What was the decision? What was the point that made you think that modeling was the way for you to get in there? I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. Hey, how did you get into a job being a cleaner? What made you think that that was a job to be? Why did you become a cleaner? How broke were you that you had to turn around and become a cleaner? You could have turned around and been customer service. You could have been selling fucking refrigerator magnets. You could have been a cashier. Why a cleaner? In one of the toughest cities to be, one of the toughest cities, the most prominent cities in the globe to be in, Dubai. Why that? Why? With no English, no nothing. Why a cleaner? How difficult was for you to get a job being a cleaner with no English? These were good questions. None of that happened. All I heard was nothing but jerking. They might as well just say the host might as well say he's a cleaner at Jergens. Because all I hear is nothing but oil sound going off in the background. Jergens. He is stroking this motherfucker with Jergens. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not hearing anything that's going to make people think like, wow, this motherfucker who didn't know English or anything was out in Dubai, was able to bring everything. How did he do it? This is how he said he did it. This is how great everything's been. I think I can do it too. Or now I know how difficult it is. Maybe I was thinking about doing it, but now I'm not going to do it. That's not what's happening here. They're just lining him up to think he's this ultra successful person, when the truth of the matter is, I'm going to tell you from based on my personal assessment, because I know and I've seen this, and I've talked to plenty of other people who are successful, not to the billionaires, because I know you guys like to be so hyperbolic, but people who are successful that turn around and say that the first and foremost, they were just in the right place at the right time. They got lucky. And there are people out there that will run podcasts like this. I'm not shitting on the podcast. I don't know their podcast, but I'm looking at the host and he's not being very genuine. He's playing a part. Personal opinion. And instead of really giving people an idea of aspirations or a point of aspirations that they can do something for themselves, what he's doing instead is just saying, look how great this man is. Don't you think this man is as great as I think that this man is? People don't really tell you why is it we don't get enough people that want to tell you that you have to literally be doing the work for so long before you finally get picked up. That people look at you as an overnight success, but the truth of the matter is that you've been doing your shit for years. For years. Now, there are people who are overnight success. They've been only doing it for about a month or about a week or whatever, and they get noticed. But there are people who've been doing this for years, and all of a sudden, they get their break. They get their time. But I don't think that should be something that's expressed like, yeah, you was just a shit from the start. You was a king from the start. That's not, no, that's not true. You were a peasant like everybody else. You were Arthur, not the king part. You were Arthur. You wasn't shit until you was able to pull the sword out of the stone. But you had to get to a point to get yourself to the area to be able to be the one person that everybody laughed at and thought that wasn't going to be capable. To be able to give them the opportunity to actually put your hand on the fucking sword to be able to pull that shit out of the stone. And I think those are the questions leading up to that part that are very much important. Not just talking about the motherfuckers like, yeah, and you touched the stone, you touched you was there in the public while they were doing it. Right? Yeah. And then you grabbed the fucking sword, you pulled out the stone, right? I remember what I was thinking about when I was standing there in the line. I remember what it was like, when I had to touch the grip of the hilt and shit like that. And I was just thinking, yeah, I'm going to pull this. I didn't even think I was going to be serious when I was going to pull it out. But then I lifted it. And it was just so great when I lifted. What about all the doubts? What about everything that you had to do to get yourself to that point? What about the fact that you were a peasant? What about all the things that you had to make sure that you had to talk to the right people that get you in the fucking line so that you can be able to be there to get in place to be able to pull the sword out the stone to name yourself king? These are important things that's getting glazed over by, and I'm just going to say it, sorry, it's your first time, but I do what I say. In my first assessment, you're dick riding him. You're dick riding him, and the only person who should be capable of dick riding is your co-host. He's quiet. She's the only one who literally should be in a position to dick ride. But you're saying, you sit there and you look pretty. I'm going to open up my asshole and I'm going to do all the dick riding for you. He's been quiet. I don't remember her asking him any questions. Shout out to OG Do Dirty, who's up in the building. Yeah, it's a daytime stream. It's a day stream. People should be hitting the like button if they walk in here. I'm a little disappointed in this idea of an interview process. I'm not taking anything from the man who actually built himself up. I just don't think there's some real education and there's some real inspiration that's coming from this interview so far. That's why I'm kind of jumping ahead right now, because we already saw 15 minutes going in before I had to jump 15 minutes more, and I'm still not getting it. I'm still seeing more circle jerking.
I was in the open day, bro. I swear.
Bro,
I was in that open day.
Bro, let me tell you a story.
It was
about
a huge line, like a
police,
huge line.
10 car of police, like the whole airport was
huge,
locked.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, wow.
The queue started maybe in another area to.
It was crazy. I remember I was like, I have no chance. I was not fit, bro. I was a skinny guy. And it was the first time I take off my beard. I looked like shit. So I was like, I know I'm not going to make it.
Bro, that interview went that open day went so viral on social media.
Yeah, I remember.
So I went there at 5 a.m. in the morning.
Did you have the chance to give her the CV? the lady.
Yes.
So you went to that,
Yes.
and then you give it the
Yes.
TV. They ask you one question, then you go.
And then when I came out, I was like,
Wow.
what is this? So many. It's like it was like a football stadium. So many people. So I went there at 5 a.m. They opened. I went 5 a.m. I thought I was the first one.
Yeah.
When I came at
I agree.
I came at 5 a.m. I came with a taxi, and then I stay in the parking. I chill with my suit. I was sitting down on the floor on the parking. It was still a bit dark. And then 5:30, I start to see people coming out of their car, ironing their shirt, their suit, putting up. And I was like, whoa. So people slept in the car, in the parking to go to the interview, to the open day.
Oh wow.
People who work in Emirates Airlines, you guys are lucky. I'm just gonna tell you that.
They don't know that. They don't know that. They don't know that.
But these are the things that you need to explain. This is what I just said a moment ago, folks. This is the stuff that I need to be explaining. That what you did to get there, to turn around and be in a position to say that, you know what, the only reason I got there is because of luck. I got there because of luck. Because the entire time leading up to here, Ruck, you said wait for the music. The entire time I'm hearing is the bound chicken wow wow. The entire time between these two guys. It's not her. She's been, I don't know what's the last thing. I started her just saying, oh wow. I don't know what's the last thing she said. She's been quiet. I don't know what she said. This Indian dude's been glazing him the entire time. Indian, Arab, whatever you want to call him, he's been glazing him the entire time. I haven't heard anything of substance come from her, and I haven't heard anything really of any real good questioning that comes from this man. He's giving them highlights to tell the audience, nothing else. He's not asking them any real good questions. He's only taking them down memory lane. This is a conversation about going down memory. It's not even an interview. Let me tell you about the time. Let me tell you, the nigga sitting down and I'm interviewing, about the time that you did this. He goes, oh yeah, I did do that. Imagine this, guys. Imagine this. Ruck, imagine this. For the little bit of information that I have about you and your life, right? Hey, Ruck, you're rather a good, successful guy. You're living out in Vegas, one of the most prominent areas in the United States. You know, do you remember the time when you played rugby? Again, the Ruck's gonna be like, yeah, I remember. Thanks for letting me know, Resla. The time I was playing rugby, and we used to travel across the block. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Tell us more about that time. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, that must have been a real humbling experience, Rug. Yeah. Did you guys used to have an actual rugby chant of things you said? Oh, I remember the rugby chants. Yes, you're absolutely right, Rustler. Let me tell you about the time when I was doing the rugby chant. But that's what we're seeing. Not so. I know that you had this is me wrestling. Hey, I remember Mr. Ruck. I know that you had a time where you were doing rugby in your career, but let's be honest with you. How exactly did Ruck you? How exactly did you get into rugby? What was the mindset of the young Ruck that made the decision to get into rugby? Can you take us down that path? These are questions. These are real fucking questions. How did you get into the mindset to be able to become a rugby player? Because not everybody just decides. Not everybody just falls into the idea of rugby. Did you go through any competition to be able to solidify your spot getting into rugby? Tell me, how grueling was the performance that you had to make in order to become a rugby player on a team, to travel across the U.S. and go up against other people who are also professionals in rugby? Can you tell what was it like when you finally made it and you were on a team and you were officially traveling, right? When you finally got to meet people, say internationally, and so, what was your experience? What was your first feeling like when you were first international? Were you nervous? These are questions to ask. This motherfucker here, across from the person who's being interviewed, is failing, in my personal opinion. Am I off? Hey guys, let me look at the chat. Am I off? Appreciate you, CJ, for being in the building. Am I off? I said probably waiting for them to stop writing so she can get her turn. Possibly. Possibly. Am I off though? They don't listen. That's how I feel. They don't even know it's an interview. They called the motherfucker up here. If he's really important as you say, then I'm thinking to myself, you probably paid for him to interview him, but this is not an interview. And if he should have for free, then you really fucked up. You really fucked up on an opportunity. Softball interview, exactly. Exactly. Why is the big question? I appreciate you. Like, nope, I'm not bugging. I just needed to know if it was me. This is not the way to do things. It's not the way to do things. This is, you know what? I done skipped whatever. I'm disappointed. I don't think I can go through any more of this. I have a feeling honestly, here's how I feel right now. Maybe I'll give them another chance and I'll look to see if there's another interview in their catalog. But as far as I see for a first time being recommended to my feed interview, I haven't seen the end yet, folks. Shout out to the young lady that's his co-host. But is it just me? But I'm expecting a happy ending at the end of this interview, and it won't be on her face. Anyway, it's a shout out to that podcast. Sorry if you feel a way about what I just said. I'm just saying that it's someone who has 3.9K subscribers, and you're doing this, and it was only a day ago for this interview. There's a lot more that you could do. There's a whole of a lot more you got to do. So I'm gonna go away. Yeah, I said what I said. You said awful. Oh wow. I said what I said. We're gonna move on to my other. We're gonna move on to the other tab that over here. This one says. Let me break this big for you guys so you can see this pause. Comedian shows no restraint to the monsters destroying our lives. I have no idea what this is, but it came up on TYT Sports. By the way, TYT is the Young Turks. Very liberal network. So, I did that a little too much. Hold up. Make sure I boost this up more so we can see properly. About 90, 100% is good. Okay, cool. I have no idea what this is about. Again, we're reviewing at the same time. It is TYT. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. This is how I have to re-edit my videos. I normally don't react to stuff because people end up flagging or whatever the case may be, so I don't know. So if you are seeing this live, congrats, because if I have to edit it, that means people watching in the replay probably won't get the chance to see it. Let's find out what's going on.
If you're a billionaire, you're kind of a you are. It's not even your fault. You have an unnatural amount of money. You have no choice but to be a It's way too much. I sat down and did math for this bit, just so I could explain to you guys how much money you really have when you're a billionaire. Here's the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire. If you're a millionaire and you spend $1,000 a day, it will take you 2 years and 7 months to go broke. If you're a billionaire and you spend $1,000 a day, it will take you 2,700 years before you go broke. Holy shit, that's not even legal. You guys realize how much money that is? That means if Moses, the one from the Bible, if Moses had $2 billion and was alive today, he would still have money to spend. Not because he's a Jew, just because.
That's wild. That is wild. Okay. All right. I'm trying to figure out the part where he's basically saying, we're going to go back to the title. The title of it says, comedian shows no restraint to the monsters destroying us. Damn. I mean, he's not really saying anything. He's just talking about billionaires, but that was kind of, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It was a little bit based, but at the same time, it's kind of a little bit complaining. I'm trying to keep an equal perspective about it.
That's an insane amount of money. for anybody to have.
That is not only insane, but depressing that society and mainly political leaders allow and enable this.
The scale of $1 billion.
Oh shit! I thought this was about a whole comedian thing. I didn't know it was a review and a whole bunch of other stuff. I didn't know we was about to dive into money. By the way, probably the reason why I showed up my algorithm because I like money. I like to talk to people that talk about money. I like people to talk about finances, not necessarily real estate, but how to leverage money. This is why it's probably on my algorithm. I thought it was about a comedian. It said comedian shows. Now we seem like we got somebody who's doing a review. I should have known it was TYT. My bad, folks, but we're here now, so let's do it.
Dollars is really crazy. So let's say 1 grain of rice is equivalent to 100K, and 10 grains of rice would be then $1 million. Well, how much is $1 billion? So my Saturday night consisted of counting 10,000 grains of rice one by one, just to show you guys how much $1 billion is. Of course I filmed it, and of course I time-lapsed it, and this is playing at, I don't even know, God knows how fast it's playing at, but so now
I hope he made money doing this. I hope he was on the clock doing this. I hope that even afterwards when he posted the video that it did an alarming amount of success. Obviously it did something because it landed in my algorithm, but I would just say this, folks. He had to have been making an astronomical, a very dedicational point, because that was time. If he looking at the time lapse, talk about grains of rice, by the way. That was an astronomical amount of time that he spent to calculate that much rice. We're talking about the most valuable currency that you have in the world, time. When we talk about people who waste time, I want to let you know he is one of the people that waste time. Unless he made a shit ton of money by doing so, I will just say he wasted time. I'm gonna say he didn't wait. I'm gonna say he didn't waste time and managed to land on my feed. He didn't waste time when it came to me because we're reviewing it now. But think of how many people that didn't watch it. I'm gonna have to afterwards. I want to see. I might have to remember. Maybe you guys have to remind me. But I need to see how many people actually watched this. You know what? Let me just do it right now, real time. How many people actually watched this stream? 92K. This was 3 weeks ago. It was 92K. That's not enough. There are TikTokers who can get way more than that in 2 to 3 hours. That's not enough to say that you sat through hours of counting rice. Rice, ladies and gentlemen. Rice.
I'm proud to present to you the results. That is $1 billion, where each grain of rice is worth 100K. Look how much rice this is, guys. That's crazy. I just bought you like a Lamborghini right here, and I didn't even notice it was gone. Here's a $5 million house in California, and oh look, I still have all this money.
Well, a lot of you guys asked me, well, how much does Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos have in terms of rice?
So that was my mission, and I went to Costco. I got the rice, I brought it home, and once I brought it home, I went to work. I also want to say that I have 5 families that are going to take this unused rice, so it's totally not wasteful. Okay, so the moment you've been waiting for, 100K, 1 million, 1 billion. Jeff Bezos has 122 of these, or
58 pounds of rice. If each grain of rice was 100K. Like, look how big this is.
Okay. That's it. Well, let me go back. That's at 122 billion, right?
If each grain.
Okay. Let me just do a quick research online. Who is worth 122 billion, not million. We're talking about a B. Who is worth $122 billion? Because there has to be somebody. But then to put that number out there, I'm just gonna be honest with you. There has to be someone out there. Quick Google search. Not that Google should be the standard, but it says in the given context. Oh, let me just properly just make you guys. So we're doing this all together at once, all at once. It says, let me move this is what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna move my other channel over here. Here's what it says, by the way. I'm gonna boost this for you because I want you guys to read. We're gonna do a read along, so you guys can see this as well. It says in the given context, Elon Musk's wealth dropped to not dropped from dropped to 122 billion in 2025. That is this year, folks, making him 122 billion poorer than he was in 2024. This is according to Yahoo Finance, by the way. Said despite the significant drop, he remains the richer than the combined Bezos, Jensen Huang, and Mark Cuban. By the way, Mark Cuban has been staying very quiet as how rich he is, but he has definitely been one of the most richest men in the United States for a very long time. There are people out here, folks, who have that kind of net worth. Let me just put it that way: net worth. That's not to say he has that in the pocket, and I can't talk about it, or rather, I shouldn't talk about it because I'm not a financial advisor. As to, nope, I can't even do it. I'm not even going to do it. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I do know a couple of things about how people are able to say these kind of things and be able to leverage. I mean, honestly, if you look at it, if you do your own research, this is the reason why you'll be able to know why Elon Musk was able to get Twitter, and then he turned his X. Yeah, we'll leave it there. I'm not going to do anything more than that.
Rice was 100K. Like, look how big this is, guys.
And yet that video is outdated. So imagine.
Good call out, by the way, Ruck. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. He did play rugby. You're right about that.
What you just saw, and understand that Jeff Bezos is now worth, per NBC News, $240 billion. Elon Musk at $363 billion, and Mark Zuckerberg at $260 billion are only ahead of him. This is flat out dystopian stuff.
They say these are very exciting times. They are. Some people say they're scary times. I disagree. I think these are very exciting times. When they're changing all the rules, we can do anything we want now. I say, let's kidnap some billionaires. Why not?
Careful.
We got a lot of problems. 5 guys have all the money. Let's go get them.
Careful.
Who's going to stop us? Look, I'm all for you being a billionaire. Good job. Good job. You're
Careful now. Careful. You might say, first of all, you're talking about people who can actually hire private military at this point. And then on top of that, you want to go ahead and kidnap some billionaires. Again, he's a comedian. He's just being funny. But to the unhinged people, by the way, just yesterday, because we had my stream taken down and blocked for a little bit, and I'm still having it edited by YouTube because I just refuse to pull the video down and edit it myself. It's not that serious. But we literally had a mass shooting for some motherfucker that claimed that he had mental instabilities from CTE and went to an NFL headquarters and killed 4 people. This is a shooting that just happened yesterday, folks. You probably haven't heard about it yet. I don't think it's that big and newsworthy because it just only hit my phone literally as I got home. But and he took himself out. He wasn't even like taken down by people. I don't even understand the whole purpose of all that shit. Anyway, he wasn't even a football player. He was playing high school football, and he blamed basically the NFL, or rather, he didn't blame the NFL. Kind of, sort of, not really. But the news cycles are trying to blame the NFL for his, quote, disability. And now there's a challenge against the NFL when this man made the decision all on his fucking own. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really rock with it, but it is what it is. But the idea that you think that you're going to be able to not for me to digress, but the idea that you think you're going to be able to capture millionaires, who do you think is going to pay the ransom for that millionaire, if not another millionaire who also going to have the money, the ones that you didn't capture, or collective millionaires, the ones that you billionaires and millionaires, the ones that you didn't capture to rescue, quote, their friends or their competition that do have the money to pay for the kind of people that can come through to do the kind of wet work that you weren't preparing for. And I get it. This is really a deeper conversation about the haves and the have-nots, to be honest with you. It's really a conversation about that, the haves and the have-nots, what's going to happen when the people who all have are outnumbered by the have-nots, and the have-nots go for them. Well, those that you did not capture, who have the means, will have you taken out. That's what I'm saying. Whether it happens or not is whatever. Because the people who have that did not get taken will pay the funds to have you taken out to prove the fact that they will not become the next. So you've already taken out those who have already had the money. Because be honest, if no one pays the ransom, you as someone who takes you as a captor, someone who takes other people hostage, if you don't get paid the ransom, you taking out the people that you took hostage does what to you? You're still poor. You are still poor. In a nation where we say, not that it's actually a thing, but in a nation where we say we do not negotiate with terrorists. Let's just say these millionaires, people who are in competition with each other across the globe, turn around and say, yeah, I'm not going to pay for that. You took Bezos hostage. Damn. He having the protection that you got through. I guess he got what he got. He got what he got. Well, if you don't pay it, I'm going to kill him. Okay, cool. And then you do it. Are you rich because you did that job? You're not. Now you've executed someone who had an immense amount of wealth, and you're still poor. And on top of being poor, you're hiding in a bunker, probably similar to Saddam Hussein. Because why? You can't come up for air for a while because you're going to have multiple people looking for you. Was it worth it to still be poor? I need you to think for a moment. The plan has to be bigger than simply ransom. I'm just saying. I'm not giving you any ideas. I'm just saying, for those of you guys who just think that ransoming is going to be the way, ransoming, I'm going to say it, as a first world person, ransoming is the thought process of someone who's a third worlder. You're going to have to do better. You cannot ransom in the first world as a first worlder.
Worked hard, you changed the world, you're a billionaire. You get to be a billionaire for 24 hours. You don't start giving that.
You're right. My bad. You're right. Thank you for pointing it out. Thank you, guys. I was muted. All right. So you said he's in a sideline base with him, and you have to have binoculars just to be able to see it. I agree. But my point that I just said, and thank you for pointing that out, Ruck, is the fact that if you do not collect on capturing, quote, a billionaire, a millionaire, because you can't capture all billionaires and millionaires at once. This is not the G5 summit. You know what I mean? Of billionaires and millionaires. So if you don't get them all at once, and even if you got them all at once, and you taking them out, if you don't get paid, it's going to do what for you besides make you a target? People don't think. You're not thinking. I'm just saying. Think about it. If you captured a billionaire, right? A billionaire, and you said, let's just say I'm a billionaire. Let's just say that, if ever. I got Resla. You guys need to pay this much of his money to get his life back. I have insurance. I have will. I have all this other shit, right? That's going out to other people. Maybe even some of my closest execs, shareholders, whatever. Me dying means that the shit just gets moved to the next person. If people just say, you know what, we're not gonna pay, do what you want to do to Resla, and you're like, I'll do it. But I said I would, I'd do it. They're gonna say, I mean, we talked to our lawyers and everything, we're good. You can do it. What's next? I might not be happy. I'm gonna be pissed. But if they said no, we're good, we're covered. The business will stay intact. People will still get their money. We're already have somebody in place to be the next exec once Resla has deceased. You're good. Do what you got to do. Now you're in a predicament. After you decide to turn around and take me off the chessboard, right? Now you're going to be on the run. You're going to be on the run. Was it worth it? You can't just come up with this elaborate scheme again. They already going to be new contingencies in place, and you executed one person and got zero in the bank. You cannot have first world kidnappings, rather third world kidnappings, expecting first world solutions. That's not the way it works. You're going to have to do better than that. I'm just saying. I wonder what the comedian's gonna say about it.
Money away to poor people by morning. We're coming to get you.
It's no shock why New York City mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani remains ever so popular, and also why the Dems want to squash him. He'd say on Meet the Press, and I do quote, "I don't think that we should have billionaires because frankly, it is so much money in a moment of such inequality, and ultimately what we need more of is equality across our city and across our state and across our country."
I'm going to disagree with this. I'm going to disagree with this. I have a problem with people who decide. I have a problem with this socialist aspect. Do I believe that people should be able to? Let me just say this. Oh my gosh, guys! Let me do this. This is important. This is important. Let me do this. Let me put this out there. Hold up. I want to take away the background noise that you guys can't hear with the background is from me, because this is very important to me. And I'm going to say this. You can agree or not. We can even have a conversation about it in the future. But in the world that we're in, if we're just talking about natural order, if Clay Foundation's in here, he'll love the term that I'm just going to say, natural law. Like, we're talking about people who are survival of the fittest. There's always been the haves and the have-nots. There's always been a predator and a prey. There's always been those who have done well and someone who's done okay and someone who has been sitting at the very bottom. The idea that we think that we can make a society where everybody is just okay, no one ever is sitting at the bottom, because what that means is that there's someone who's going to be. Think about it this way, folks. If we're all at a social society where everybody is taken care of on a blanket state, like on blanket slate, that means for the people who are already, and I'm just gonna say this, and if you feel a certain way about it by someone that you know, or it happens to be you, I said what I said. If you happen to be a degenerate that believes that you should blow all your money because it doesn't matter, because why? You will be replenished to be the person next to the person who's actually saving their money because they want to be more. They want to save more. Everybody's sitting on a blank slate, but there's somebody who wants to save their money to be able to have a little bit more. But you say that we're all supposed to be equal. So why are you saving extra money? In fact, I'm going to go and rob you to take your extra money so that I can have extra money, even though we're all supposed to be paid on a blank slate. It doesn't stop human nature. There is no one for all and all for one. Robin Hood is fake. Robin Hood's not real. The concept of everybody being neutrality is not real. You go to any communist country you want. Are there not people who are sitting at the top and people who are sitting at the bottom? So even communism doesn't work. Well, we got socialism. It's practically communism. It's never worked. Never worked. There's been no such thing ever in history of all for one and one for all. Someone is doing more than someone else. If that's the case, there would have been never a need for gentrification in any place that you've gone to, in any of the 10 to 15 most 10, 20 most prominent states that you have in the country. Somebody wouldn't be able to come through with so much money to be able to, quote, change shit about. Because if you leave people together to say, well, if you save up a little bit, hey, CJ, if you save up a little bit, Ruck, if you save up a little bit, Jessica Rabbit, if you save up a little bit, David, if you save up a little bit, No Chaser, you save up a little bit, we can Clay Foundation, you save up a little bit. And what we gonna do is we gonna take a little bit and we gonna pull it together so it can be a lot, so we can fix a community. You're going to find people. It might be Clay Foundation, it might be Jessica, it might be Ruck or whatever, who's gonna say, I'm gonna be a little bit short on the payment. And they're gonna say, why? Because my expenditures, my spending habits, my family is different from yours. So I cannot save as much as you can. You and Juliet, who are just you and Juliet, cannot compare to someone else who has a family that is a family of 4. But you're expecting us to save the same amount of money. It doesn't work that way. And you want to come to one of the most prominent cities, not just in the nation, on the globe, New York City, and think that you're going to turn it to be socialist? When you have a 1.4 deficit of people who are leaving the city, how about stemming the bleed of people that's not actually trying to leave? I have a problem with the aspect of socialism because it's never worked anywhere for a reason. You cannot compel people to say that they should do more. This is not a Home Depot commercial. Doing more with less. That's not the way it works. If I do more, I should get more. I should earn more. I should not have less. If I do more time than you, if I put in more effort than you, if I provide more work than you, I should get compensated for that. Now, I do say that there are specific positions or whatever that should get more money than what they're already having currently, like school teachers. Do I think a school teacher should make the equivalent of a construction worker who's building high-rise condos? Absolutely not. Do I think that they should make as much money as the plumbers who are sitting there retrofitting all the implementations that go into that high-rise? Absolutely not. Do I think that teachers should make as much money as the people who are doctors? It depends on where you are in the teaching scale. Again, if you're doing elementary to high school, probably not. Probably not. The problem that we have in our nation when it comes to education is simply this. It's simply this. Those who, and tell me if you think I'm wrong. I'm all about perspective. Those who do not do, teach. Let me say that again for you. Those who do not do, teach. Who would you rather get advice from? The business owner who has built many businesses and been very successful, or the business teacher who is teaching you about business but never owned a business? Which are the people that you rather get mentorship from? Which one? The one who's teaching you about business but never owned a business, or the person who's going through countless failures and everything else, who has grind their teeth and beat their head and beat their hands inside the fucking pavement, and they are successful now as a business entrepreneur? Which one would you rather get your, hey, I want to teach you this so I could, because this is what I did and I fucked up so many times. I want to teach you not to be as much as a fuck up if I did. Versus the person that's sort of like, this is the way that you need to get it done. Have you ever owned a business? No. Well, what should I do if I want to get these things done? I don't know. I've never done it. Which one do you want to get your advice from? I would rather get my advice from a boxer who has held the championship belt 3 times than someone who has never competed for a championship title but says that they're the greatest. Let me say that again. Who would you rather, and I'm going to put it in the question form, who would you rather get advice from? Someone who has held the championship belt multiple times, or someone who has only had a lucky streak but has never actually competed for a championship title and turn around and say that they're the greatest? Who would you rather get your fucking advice from? Because only one of those type of people have actually done the motherfucking work. Doing is more important than theorizing. This is the reason why it's very important. When we run assessments in my industry, when we run assessment, there are 2 assessment types that you have to go through. There's theoretical, theory, and there's practical, which means you have to do the things, what has actually been done. Most people tend to run and think that they're going to get practical experience out of theoretical concepts. That's not the way the world works. Doers are the ones that make it. I can't tell you when Uber first came out, but Lyft came out afterwards. When Uber first came out, people turned around and said, that was my ideal. I already had the ideal for Uber. What did you do to make that happen? Donut. The motherfucker who probably didn't even have as strong as much idea as you did to make it better, by the way, did more than you did and therefore became the owner of Uber. Doers get more. Who would you rather? Gentlemen, because I see more gentlemen in the chat right now. Gentlemen, who would you rather be? This is a Sean Connery line. This is from the Rock, the movie The Rock. Who would you want to be? You want to be the guy that says, I want to fuck the prom queen, the prom queen, or do you want to be the guy that says, I got to take the prom queen to prom and I got to fuck the prom queen? Who would you rather be? The one who thinks about fucking the prom queen or the one who gets to fuck the prom queen? Which one? The one who gets to fuck the prom queen and did all the work to be able to put himself in that position. Who would you rather be? This is important. In the world that we're running into right now, that most people want to think, they want to feel good than doing the things that will actually put them in a position where they can be good. I would rather do good than feel good, because doing good is gonna come across in the long run. Feeling good is temporary. Motivation is temporary. Motivation feels good. Motivation is temporary, though. Discipline will last you a long time. Will last you a lifetime. Let's just run into the old shit, the very old shit. Who would you rather be, guys? The guy that the person come to and teach you how to catch a fish, or the guy who gives you a fish? That fish is only going to last you one day. Who would you rather be? We already know the answer. We already heard all these tropes and things, but there's somebody out there all the time to turn around and say, I want to be the one who's destitute. Nigga, I want you to be the one that gives me the fish. I want to sit there for hours with you to learn how to catch the fish. I just need you to give me the fish. Someone out there is going to be that person. The question is that person you? There's someone out there that's always going to be like that. And CJ, check this out. You might be the person that person comes to and says, yo, CJ, you've been sitting here relying on people giving you fish. I'm going to teach you how to catch fish. And you don't have to rely on no one else teaching you how to catch the fish. Once you learn that, you have a decision to make now. The decision is this. Do you now, after this person left, teach all the people that you know how to catch fish? Or do you decide to just start giving them fish? I said that to CJ, but I'm really talking about all you guys. Which one are you going to be? This is what they say. It costs to be the boss. This is the saying that's also said. The game is not told, it is sold. Free game does not get acknowledged. Free game is not taken seriously. But if they have to invest in it, they take themselves serious because why? They're losing something at the end of the day. Most of you motherfuckers want shit for free and you never take it seriously. You can get prominent and premium information, but you don't think it's premium and prominent information because why? You're getting it for free. You don't take it seriously if you don't have a cost. I'm just keeping it a buck. If you don't feel like you gave up anything to get that information, you don't take that information free. You don't take it seriously. You don't think it's really worthwhile if you got it for free. You have to give up something in return for you to actually think that the information that you're getting that's going to give you a return was worth it. Let me put it this way, folks. If I decide I could research all the gym routines and everything else, the protein powders, the gym routines, all the foods that I need to eat, whatever, to get my ass into fitting, fighting shape. What are the chances of me doing it? It's slim. The chances of me doing it is very low. But if I know everything that I need to do and I hire somebody to just hold me accountable, I just need you to be there to make sure that I do X, Y, and Z. To remind me I need to do X, Y, and Z and remind me the reason as to why I want it. I am most likely to do it even if they are not my trainer. I'm just paying them for free just to remind me of shit. I am more than likely to do it because why? I do not want to waste my money. I need to make sure I'm not wasting my money. Why am I paying this motherfucker to remind me? Oh, because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I need to get myself to a position where I can stop paying this motherfucker. Most of y'all don't look at shit that way. You think somebody should be doing something for you rather than you should be thinking about what are you doing to make sure that you're doing something for yourself. Why aren't you investing in yourself? You think that other people should invest in you, but you are not investing in yourself. You want other people to have a receipt from so you can get mad and come back with them and say, this is not what you said it was. Got the receipt. This is not what you said it was. But you never give yourself that receipt, that money back guarantee to yourself. This is what I'm going to spend money on. This money is going to go to me, to my benefit, to my education, to my fitness, to my whatever, to make whatever it is to make me better. And this is the timeline that I need to get it done. Because here's the truth of the matter. At the end of the day, you don't want to disappoint yourself. It's easier to blame other people than it is for you to blame yourself. It is easier to blame other people for you not getting the results that you wanted than to blame yourself. That's the point that I'm making at the end of the day. And I do not like the idea of people sitting there talking about, well, we need socialism so everybody can be across the fucking board. Across the board. Rather than saying they worked hard. They work hard for the money. So hard for the money. But you didn't. But you think you should get entitled to some of that? Fuck you.
It's because this message is not only smart, but relatable.
It's weird if a bunch of billionaires go, yeah, the stores are bare. The prices of gas is up. So just drive less. Hey, you can't afford gas? Maybe you should don't go there, that place you want to go. Why don't you go to, hey, you want to go see your mother? See her less.
Hey, can I just put this out there too? Fuck this guy too. Fuck him. Because those same billionaires also create businesses that you work for, by the way, that put food on your family's table. Let's just talk about the real important shit that's going on here. About motherfuckers like him, probably a comedian. You're mad that you don't have the intellect, you don't have the wherewithal, you don't have the commitment to do what these people did. Oh, yeah. It seems like I am picking enemies on this stream, but I need to. It's important. You're just mad that you didn't do, or you're not smart enough, or you're not capable enough, or you don't have the network to do what the people that you're complaining about did. Because if you had it, you would do it. You want to pretend to be a saint. You want to pretend to be virtuous. When the truth of the matter is that the rich are the ones who pay the most in taxes. Tax the wealthy. Sure. And they would still pay more than you because they're already paying more than you. They don't pay their fair share. No, you don't qualify for the loopholes. Let's just keep it a buck. You do not qualify for the loopholes because you didn't do enough work. Do not tell me I didn't go to I didn't open up a business. I didn't go to college. I didn't do none of that stuff. So therefore, I believe that someone else should be taking care of me. Fuck you.
It's very condescending and strange to tell people that they should adjust their habits when billionaires and people worth hundreds of millions of dollars have only gotten richer, have only bought more jets, have only bought more property, can only do more things.
It ain't tricking if you got it.
And people that aren't in that bracket can't do anything. And those people are told it's good.
They tell people to go on long bike rides rather than just drive. Because
go on a bike ride with your kids.
Hey, TJ, when you say that the rich need to pay their portions, but they're paying more than you, you're asking them to take care of you. Because where did the taxes? Where do they go to? They're supposed to go back. They're supposed to go back into systems. They go to the military to fund all the to feed those other countries. But guess what? They're paying more. They're paying more than the average person who complains about the fact that it's going to other countries. Now, I agree. Say everything should be here for America, to America. But even when people complain, oh, they're taking all our taxes and they're sending it across seas, or that it goes to these defense contractors or whatever, keep in mind, these wealthy people are still putting in more money that go to said contractors or feeding the poor or feeding other countries or whatever, or supplying weapons to other countries than you do. Like, most people don't even understand, as someone who works in business, most people don't even understand that while you're probably sitting there and you're working for someone making 60, 40, 90K, whatever, the company's paying almost double for you to be employed to make that money. But most of you, especially those who have never actually hired an individual, not for a company, actually a business owner who actually hired an individual, you don't understand that. Most of you are not in finance. You don't understand that. Most of you never hired anyone outside of being in your position as a manager, and you just need to replenish your team or been in HR. Most of you have never actually had to pay for someone else to work for you. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
On the highway, take your children on a bike ride on the side of the road and go to the grocery store. It's good for you. Maybe you'll all die, and we can stop hearing your mouths.
You know what that reminds me of? When W.K. Kellogg's CEO, Gary Pilnick, went on CNBC and said, the cereal category has always been quite affordable, and it tends to be a great destination.
And so here's my thing, CJ. I'm not a commie. I'm just not pro-capitalism. Cool. What's your middle ground? This is a call out to you. What's your solution outside of bitching? What is your solution? Because unless you're willing to die to go to heaven, if you believe in heaven, to the silver city where everybody's prosperous, You have to be here on Earth. So what's your solution? Because it sounds like you're playing the crying game then. It ain't fair. Life has never been fair. And you still have more of an advantage than those who have never been in your country, still clawing their way to get here. See, the problem that I see with a lot of people, period, is a lack of gratitude. They don't even understand what they have. They do not even understand what they have, but want to tell people about what they don't have. I don't want to hear about what you don't have when I can easily look to other people who want what you got. What I have isn't enough. You have more than someone else, and you should be grateful for that. And you should take what you have to make more. Because they wish they had what you got in order to make more. They're striving just to try to get to what you got. Yeah, I need to stop your shit.
When consumers are under pressure,
This is perspective.
Grocery prices skyrocketing. Quote, if you think about the cost of cereal for a family versus what they might otherwise do, that's going to be much more affordable. He would then say, cereal for dinner is something that is probably more on trend now, and we would expect it to continue as that consumer is under pressure. I mean, and I say this with all due.
Hey, you don't know how you're gonna. You just said you don't know how you're gonna conjure that up. You want your TV, you want a wife, you want children, you want a home. You know what the saying is? You better work, bitch. You wanna live a good life. You wanna be able to travel. You wanna pay for your dog. You better work, bitch. That's what it is.
Disrespect. And whoever's editing this, shout out to Mark, bleep it out. F you.
Hi, I'm a billionaire, and is that a book make reading illegal? Hi, I'm a billionaire, and why aren't you pregnant? Enforced breeding program for slave labor. Hi, I'm a billionaire, and is that bottled water? Make water unaffordable. Hi, I'm a billionaire, and did you say something? Legalized muzzles for peasants. Hi, I'm a billionaire, and is that a senior? Destroy all social programs and set maximum age limit. Hi, I'm a billionaire, and are you breathing my air?
All jokes aside, More Perfect Union put out this piece of video in 2022 about Stuart and Lydia Resnick, who own well-known products like Fiji water, Palm, wonderful pistachio.
Here, you say we're not disagreeing. You said we're not in disagreement, but we've had conversations. You absolutely are not okay with people who are making a more prosperous decision than you have. And it's not just you, because I've had this conversation with multiple people, whether it's you, CJ, whether it has been, I've had conversation with Beans, and there's a plethora of other people who've had in conversation who just believe that, honestly, they've done what they can. Keep in mind, I'm not saying that you haven't tried, but people who make conversations about what they have tried and they're not getting anything from it. And this is what I say all the time, because I have to understand this is also as an individual who is not all over the place, who is not wealthy or anything like that. The world does not owe you understanding. Just because you are born wherever you're born, just because you draw on oxygen, just because you happen to be a human being on Earth does not mean that you are guaranteed to be successful, that you are guaranteed to anything that you, quote, would like to have. That's the unfortunate thing that I have to come to grips with. Because you know what's another thing I would like not to have? I would like not to have to experience death. I don't have a choice in it. The world doesn't care. The world doesn't care. I would like to experience not having to be poor in the greatest country. Regardless if you feel like it's not the greatest country or not. Because I'm like, if you don't think it's the greatest country, point to where it is. And why aren't you booking a flight there? That's not to you, CJ. That's to anyone who has that mindset. The world doesn't owe us anything. We have to create what we can in the time afforded to us. I have to deal with people who are younger than me, for our Gen Zers, who don't really understand a lot of the concept of what's going on in the world. And I had to say these things back to them. The world doesn't owe you anything. And hopefully that you wake up early so that you can be able to maximize on the time that you have. Because here's the truth of the matter. I am 43 and I have to deal with people who are like 22. And you know what I say? The only thing that we have in common? Time. And you know what's the immediate thing they have in their mind? Here's the immediate thing they have in their mind. Well, you're 43 and I'm 22. I have more time than you do. The world doesn't owe you understanding. I can point to people who are 16, who are 26, who are 23, whose lives were cut short. And I'm older than they are now. Just because you are drawing oxygen does not mean that you are guaranteed a timeline that is lengthy, which means that you need to make the most that you have of every day that you get up and you are able to draw breath in this world. Don't think that just because you are in your 20s that you're going to make it to 70. Don't believe that. Now, I'm not saying you should be reckless, because I also see people who turn around and they're being in their 30s who want to hoard all their money and save all their money for when they are, quote, 65. You're not guaranteed to make it to 65. They will practically live on ramen noodles and beans and have a good net worth of money, hoping that they make it to 65. You're not guaranteed to make it to 65. You're not. The question is, what is the life that you can say that you are content with and you say that you have contributed to that has been beneficial to you today? You are not owed anything by this planet. When you were in a spirit, when you were sitting in your daddy's nutsacks, yes, ladies, the spark of life comes from men, not from women. When you were in your daddy's nutsacks, there was no signage when you decided to do this. There was not, oh, can you sign up? Can you do me a favor? Can you sign up? Can you sign up? Can you sign up? Can the trillion of you sign up? And then you did this. On your mark, get set, go. And you race to the fucking egg. There was no contract being sold ahead of time that said, if you make it to the egg, that your contract said that you have to pay out extra promotions, and that extra promotion was called life, and that you were going to get everything you wanted. That's not what the contract was. There was no contract. It was a inside your mother, and that's how you got here. And nothing else was promised to you except the privilege of saying that you were born as a human and not as a fucking fruit fly. That's all. It's a privilege to be born as, quote, one of the highest intelligence here on the planet. And instead, you competed against billions, if not trillions, of sperm to get here. And all you have to do is bitch and complain about how somebody else is just not doing right for you. Never mind. I just finished telling you earlier in this stream that one of the most prominent things that you have to look at is the fact that people who even make it to be something, to be successful, to be able to live in comfort, whatever, it's all about when you were born. Because you could have been born in the fucking roaring 20s. You could have been born in the 18 and the 1700s. You weren't. You were born in this era. You were born in one of the most prominent eras of our time with technology and gadgets and socialized medicine. And to top it off, to be born in America. America that everybody wants to try to get to. And then to sit here and still complain that, you know what? It's just not enough. I dare you to go to an impoverished country and keep that mindset. I dare you. Because here's the truth of the matter. But some of you guys, especially for you guys who tend to, you guys who are the passport bros and everything, I dare you to go to some of the most impoverished countries, not the most popular, like, oh, I'm going to go to Thailand. Oh, I'm going to go to, go to these rinky-dink islands off the coast of the mainland of other areas that are doing okay. Find yourself a wife or husband, ladies, you're free, you're allowed to travel too, where you're still shitting in an outhouse. You don't have plumbing. You're shitting in an outhouse. You are wiping your ass with leaves. If you're feeling fancy enough, you can afford it. You can get yourself some Charmin, and if not, you're wiping your ass with fucking like banana. Fucking banana skin you're wiping your ass with. You don't have access to plumbing. You're still shitting in a fucking outhouse. Tell me, you coming from America, you winning. Oh, wait. Some of y'all, it's a matter of perspective, and you are too blind because you're not gracious enough to see especially if you're religious, what God has given you.
Pistachios, put those on the BDS list. They are hoarding the water supply in the state of California while it suffers from immense drought each and every.
And let me just put this one more time, just for you guys. I'm going to put this video back a little bit. The one thing I can say, feed the children, what's going on in other countries, especially Africa, right? But how often do you see, outside of dogs in kennels, how often do you see children in our American streets, in our foster systems, with the flies damn near crawling on their eyes? So I'm like, in the arms of an angel. When? It's always somebody else's country. It's not here in the United States. In the arms of an angel. The fuck out of here. I need to stop.
Put those on the BDS list. They are hoarding the water supply in the state of California while it suffers from immense drought each and every year. What stage of capitalism is this, guy?
Shout out to
It's so
Cellulite.
ridiculous because, like, I feel
What's
like
going
I'm
on,
doing
Linda?
everything, and I bet everyone in here, you'll do your bit. You make an effort. You know what I mean? You're all at home washing out your yogurt pots, running around with your green bag, thinking you're doing everything right. But it's just so unfair. We're doing all this. Meanwhile, thousands of miles up there, you got Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Richard Branson, all trying to race each other to Mars, burning thousands of gallons of jet fuel. Meanwhile, I'm down here on Earth in a 1 litre Ford Fiesta trying to suck a McDonald's milkshake through a paper straw. How is this fair?
You want to know why I'm
He didn't need, but first of all, he didn't need, it's not his fault. It is not his fault that he has to suck through a paper straw. I hate paper straws too. I don't like them. That's because people want to be so ergonomic. They went too far. The paper straw is a little too much. I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to stop it right here. I think that's pretty much the end of what's going on. If you want to see that video, and by the way, for those who actually want to, I don't even know. By the way, folks, this is TYT Sports. I don't understand how something about the rich or whatever the case may be flew into TYT Sports. I don't know how that happened, but some reason, I guess because he mostly does sports. Somehow he posted it to it. It didn't make any goddamn sense at all. What is what it is. Let's see what's going on a little bit in this chat over here. You said, take it how you will. That's where I'm at. Again, I'm not here to change where you're at. I'm willing to call it out what I see. Let me change this because this is already annoying me. Hold up. Me doing this for the freaking camera. Yeah, y'all making me really think about changing in my room. I'm changing in my office because I definitely changed the highlights of where I have everything I'm looking at. Boom, change it back to where it was. Okay, cool. That was driving me nuts. If anything, this is what I'm gonna do. change the window so I can answer you guys more better. So I'm not telling you to change where you're at. I'm not. That's not the premise we're going for. I know a lot of people, especially if you guys get in a lot of these different areas that you guys like to watch online, change my mind, know you're right, know you're wrong. I'm telling you from my perspective, you don't need to agree with it or not, that there are plenty of places where people have these perspectives, but the truth of the matter is that if you do your research, if you just simply look, instead of bitching and saying it's not fair, the world is not fair. The world has never been fair. Do you think it is fair if you receive an inheritance versus those who don't have an inheritance? Do you think it's fair that you get to be looked at the street as a ain't shit person when you didn't do anything wrong? No, it's not. But the world is not made to be fair. The world is not made of fairness people. And let's be honest. We say the world, let's just say this, be honest and true. Nature is not fair. We're not talking about people. We're not talking about governments. We're not talking about nation. Nature is not fair. Because if that was the case, nature would never need to have a reason to have a predator and a prey. Nature has never been fair. Nature literally has made creatures without claws having to defend themselves against creatures with claws. Do you think it is fair that the lion gets to chase down a gazelle and the gazelle does not have what it takes to be able to properly fight back? It is what it is. And if you're gracious enough, then you would be fortunate to know that you are a lion, a part of that pride, rather than being a gazelle. Are there some gazelles that get to make it to old age? Probably. Are there old lions? Yes. We're talking about the perspective. And the perspective for a lot of people is, I don't even know how this got started. We're talking about comedians showing no restraint. It was literally one comedian, and the rest of the fucking segment was all about bitching about the wealthy. Let's just be honest. That first minute or two was about a comedian who did a joke about the wealthy, and the entire rest of the video was about bitching about how economically unsound the wealthy has made themselves versus the average person that doesn't do enough, that doesn't work enough as the wealthy. The average person, by the way, who is not financially savvy. We're talking about people who are financially savvy versus those who are not financially savvy. Can we also call this out, folks? Let's just be honest for a moment. To become wealthy means you need to know a bit about money. I don't know why people don't say this. To be able to become wealthy, you have to know a bit about money. You cannot become wealthy if you don't know about money. Can we agree on that? Can we agree on that? Let's just start there. You cannot keep your wealth if you don't know how wealth works. This is why people are so many credit cards, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt on credit cards, when they don't understand that the bank is giving you a loan. They don't even understand the difference between their money and them spending a bank's money. They don't understand it. Can we just be honest for a moment? If you understood how credit, how debit, how money just works in general, you would be better off. I don't know anyone who's sitting there talking, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm successful being in my business, and they don't know about money. Could you tell me somebody who's killing it and says that they don't know about money? That they don't have an idea about money? Keep in mind, I'm about to give you an out. I just want to know if somebody's gonna say it. I'm about to give you an out for the one out. Is there anybody that can tell me that? Yeah, there's an entrepreneur that he doesn't know shit. He or she doesn't know shit about money, and they are killing it in the game. Give me somebody. I'll research them in real time. I'll research them. Tell me who. Tell me who. Who is killing it out there, making a ton of money? They don't got to be a millionaire. Who's killing it out there, great living, and they don't know a goddamn thing about money. Nothing about money. It's just all falling into their lap. Just luck. I agree. I agree. But not for nothing, we do this with, we said a lion, right? And you make a great point. We said this about the lion, but the truth of the matter is this. The truth is this. Our elderly also go through this. Nobody complains. Because we already know this comes with the earnings of becoming old. To become old is to go through pain. But you have the privilege of becoming old and not just have your life cut short. You, folks, getting old, you earn that. Being able to even say that you are in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, you earn that. Because there was a time in history where that wasn't a thing that was normal. You earn that. And then I said, give me somebody who earned their millions, who just got by luck, who doesn't know shit about money. You say NBA young boy. I'm going to give you the caveat right now. He knows people who know about money and they manage his money for him. Because the only thing I know NBA young boy to be able to do is get bitches pregnant, not how to take care of money. Somebody else has to give him his money like a fucking child. Because he is a child. Because his mother still treats him like a child. NBA young boy is not I don't even know why they call him an NBA. I don't know why he's NBA. Nigga never played for any league in his life. I don't know why he's even called NBA but young boy, outside of the fact that these rappers all want to be fucking ball players. And the truth of the matter is they can never be ball players because, number one, even if they were skilled, niggas is not tall. NBA young boy should just be called young boy. Actually, he should just be called the original YN, young nigga. Take that NBA part out. Just young nigga. That's all he is. I don't know how anyone gonna take him serious with that hole in his fucking head. But yeah, he out here knocking bitches up. I never looked at him, seen his whole family dynamics, and thought to myself, he out here killing it. He actually somebody. Never thought that once in my life. I never thought he was anybody worthy of notation. Ever. The moment I hear about him, the moment I don't hear about him, I forget about him. You have to literally say his name. He's no one I ever thought about. And if it wasn't for these YouTube streets, I would not know who he is. Because I don't listen to enough music. In fact, does NBA here's the funny part. I'm not being facetious. Does NBA young boy even make music? I know he's in videos or whatever, but does he make video? I only heard that he knocked up bitches. Does he actually make music? What's a song that he's made that I should know? Does he actually make music? I don't even know if he made music. Who he signed to? Who is NBA young boy signed to? I don't even know. Since you brought up NBA young boy, I'm hoping that you can give me some of that information, Zoomer. Because I don't know. Outside of him knocking bitches up, I don't know what he does. I don't know who he signed to. I don't know about anything that's ever popular that he dropped. I can't remember anyone ever saying that there was and that song was brought to you by NBA YoungBoy. I never heard that. Ever. Got to get back green, Becca. Can he sing? Not Mac, not Mac the Nice. You say he's probably the most consistent. Consistent with what? Fucking bitches and getting them knocked up, or doing music? Because I don't know what he's done. Can you tell me a song that he's done? What do you mean he's the most consistent at what? At what? I don't know what he done. I don't know. NBA, but never broke again. You said it fucked me up too. Young nigga, I get. Wait, are these actual? OG, are these songs? Are these actual songs? Listen. I'm the wrong bro. I'll research it. I'll research it right now. So let's see. You said I'll say NBA young boy. I can't believe this is about to be in my fucking search history. NBA young boy. You said never broke again. Never broke again. Okay. Let's see. All right, let's click here. No, I need a video. I need some music. Let's see. Never broke again. Okay, it's an official video. Okay, this is the first time I'm going to hear a song from NBA. Oh, I got commercials. Hold up. Because I'm not on YouTube. I'm on Google. All right, 5 more seconds. 5 more seconds, and I'll know. All right. Let's hear this. All right, let me mute my side real quick. I'm out. The video nice. He looked more put together than how he is regular with Dusty. OG, I'm in. Come on, OG, nah. Oh, you were saying. Oh, here's the funny part. You said that. You said nah. You were saying NBA is the sake of never being broke again. But the nigga NBA YoungBoy actually has a song that's called "Never Broke Again." That's actually the name of the song, "Never Broke Again." I'm pretty sure you probably knew that, but that's his song, and I'm listening to it. I'm not impressed. The house that he's filming from is nice, but I'm not impressed at all. He looked cleaner than I've ever seen him on the internet. I don't know if it's because he's getting older or whatever, but no. It's a nighttime video. Him up in the courthouse. No, I gotta be honest with you. This ain't it. This does not slap at all. Not at all. This ain't busting at all. I'm not feeling it at all. So what else? What else we got here? Don't come on, stop. So you mean sometimes he's sing like Michael Jackson? Nobody sings like Michael Jackson. Not even Justin Bieber ever sang like Michael Jackson. And that whole everybody just want to sing, everybody want to quote sing with the robot voice. That's not singing. You don't. By the way, you don't need to actually have vocal cords to actually put out the robot voice that make people seem like they're singing. Thank you. That's I don't want people to think they're singing. You're not singing. You're just talking into your mic, and the robot voice extends your sound, so it makes it seem like you're putting on a voice. You're not. Thank you, OG. Trash. Hot garbage. I'm mad I just listened to what was going on there. That was absolute trash. He doesn't sing. I don't know many rappers who can sing. Even Kanye doesn't sing. And we've heard things that made him sound like he sing. It's all the robot, all the machine voice. He doesn't actually sing. there are not many rappers who can actually sing. Doing the robot voice, it does not make you a singer. Just gonna call that out there. Oh shit! What is this? 26-year-old school. 26-year-old school's entire room of smug British boomers and journalists. Well, what the hell is this about? Oh my gosh, I'm being flooded. Well, ever since I saw that couples therapy shit last night, guys, and that's the reason why I had to take my stream down. Why my stream got blocked, by the way, because that couples therapy shit. I'm getting flooded with it. I just saw it yesterday, and I'm flooded with it. But that's the reason why I couldn't play it, because it's owned by Paramount, so I had to take it down. I had to edit the video. I'm still editing the video, by the way, but I had to take it down because they're owned by Paramount, so apparently I can't play the video. I got flagged instantly for it. I'm just happy it didn't get taken down during stream. But yeah, anyone who wanted to catch it on the replay could not catch it. But now I'm seeing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos already recommended to me off that one video we just played last night. That's insane. What's good, Mayo? Mayo back in the building. Let's see. I have no idea what this is about. I wish I could read more to see what it's about, but most people don't like to update their description box. It is like, he actually did. So it is like they don't know what hit them. Overnight, their overconfident elderly journalists in the UK get schooled by a bunch of 26-year-olds, and it shows exactly where things went wrong. Interesting. So, I don't know how many of you guys actually know who this is, but this is Warren Smith. He was the teacher that was able to catch one of his students or whatever. One of his students lacking in teaching critical thinking skills. And then all of a sudden he ended up losing his job because of a whole bunch of stuff going on. But he's been doing his own videos ever since then. And this one, like I said, the title of it is 26-year-old schools entire room of smug British boomer journalists. Let's see what's going on in this one.
This guy absolutely eviscerates an entire room full of British boomers.
You said you were 26. You haven't been out into the world that long. So
That's awfully presumptive. I mean, what is happening in the UK is very strange.
26, right? I mean, in 26 years, I'm very curious as to the 3 or 4 issues that have really driven the way you think.
The subtext here, where are the adults in the room? What could have led you to such a flawed way of thinking?
That is something I think we as journalists and we as perhaps adults don't understand. Why do you think the way you do? The 3 or 4 issues that happened that have actually formulated your position.
Okay. Oh, all right. So there's something I'm thinking about immediately. How we listen. We're all adults. We're all adults here in the room. We should all understand this real quick. Just because you have been sucking oxygen on this planet for a particular length of time does not mean that you know everything. So I say this to myself, but I also say this to other people, especially younger people. The same way how when I was younger, I said this to older people. It is not my fault. Just like it is not your fault. It is not my fault that you were born first. Let me say that again. If you're older than me, it is not my fault that you were born first. Just like it is not your fault that I was born later. I'm gonna put this out there as a caveat. Just because you were born first and I was born later, same way how I got to talk to other younger people and I say just because I was born first and you were born later, well, I'm saying in the context of me speaking to older people, does not mean that you know more than I do. Because the world is constantly changing. And when you get older, people tend to get rigid. Unless you have a mindset that is willing to adapt and adjust to the current times, Instead, most people who get older tend to run and just get rigid and get stiff and then turn around and say that they don't want the world to change. That's not up to you. Let me say that again. It's not up to you. The world's going to change with or without you. With or without you. That's just the way the world's going to move. It sucks. People don't like it, but the world will always change. This is not a new thing. The world has changed for thousands of years. It didn't need your permission, and it still doesn't need today. This is why I turn around and say, what? What? The world doesn't owe you understanding. It's going to change, whether you like it or not. The same way how I try not to shit on younger people for not knowing what I know. If anything, I am always trying to understand what's going on in their generation so I can adapt, so that I don't become the person who's locked out and is at a disadvantage when newer things are happening in the world. I don't want to be the person who is locked out because I locked myself out. I don't want to get beaten in this world because I beat myself. Pause. But like, I don't want that. I don't want to be in the mindset of saying that the world is defeated because I chose not to grow, because I chose not to advance, because I want to sit in nostalgia. If I see younger people, I'm paying attention to them, which also means, folks, that there comes a point where you, as a younger person, pay attention to older people to know what's going on. And then when you become an older person, you have to now start taking the lead of some of the younger people to understand what's going on. It doesn't mean you follow it doesn't mean that you follow the lead of older people. And now that you're an older person, younger people should just follow the lead of you. The world has never worked that way. This is why they have the saying that what? Wisdom is wasted on the who? The youth. Wisdom is wasted on the youth. And the older people just wish that they were younger because they had more information than they did when they were what? Younger. That's just the way how the world is. But people don't want to adjust to that mindset, that theory, not even a theory, that just what it is. It's one of those constants that happen. People don't want to adjust to it. But I would rather be one of the people who are in the loop. I don't have to be the most popular. I don't have to be leading the charge. But I am in the loop. I am seen. I am acknowledged for where I am. Then be the person that turn around and say, I'm not going to do that because I don't like it. When the truth of the matter is that you can just be honest. You don't understand it. You know, it's one of the most people on the internet that I congratulate the most for doing this. Mama. She can tell me about so much stuff that happened in history. Well, you know how she's able to tell me this stuff? She's in these streets. She's not just talking from the chats or anything. She's actually on panels. I don't know pretty much anyone of her age that is in these YouTube streets talking live on panel. Not just doing videos, not being interviewed by one of her children or her children's children, that she herself is doing the work, talking to people here in these streets. I do not know anyone else. She is the only person of that age that I know who is talking in these streets. And I give her so much respect for that. No, I see a lot of I see a lot of old ninjas like OG Speed. I do. In fact, they really believe that everybody should be listening to them. I see a lot of ninjas like OG Speed out there. I agree with that also. Brick, I agree with that. Not just one to just say, well, I'm up here. She's not being one of the old people. Well, she's like, you know what? Well, back in my day, and you should listen to me, you whippersnappers or whatever. No, she actually listens. You're right about that as well. She listens. She absorbs what's going on around her. She doesn't just listen and then turn around at the end of the day and just says, well, you're wrong. She'll listen to you. She'll be like, you know what? Well, I didn't think about that. You might have a point. I know how this happened here, but based on some of the things that I'm seeing in the world, you might be right. Maybe we are moving into this area, or maybe there's some things that I understand that is happening to you in this part of the world right now, but maybe we need to think about some of the old things to understand how we got to the world that we do now. And I appreciate that. She's nuanced. He can literally see both sides and make a calculated adjustment as to what should be the proper thing. And I think a lot of people are there because they're just so, it's my way or the fucking highway, can't do that. She's literally what I would like to be in the future. Someone who could be here, moving throughout time, but does not get locked into time. Can understand where you came from, can understand where the world is going, and moves with the flow of time. A lot of people get locked in the flow of time. They get locked in whatever current that they got locked in. They can see there's more current out there, but they get locked in. It's like this, the forest beyond the trees, right? They get to the end of the bridge and they see there's more forest, but they're like, I think I'm good here. No, there's more forest. You should keep walking. No, I'm comfortable with the amount of shrubbery around me now, the amount of trees that are around me right now. And anyone else who's walking to me afterwards, the next generation, it was walking afterwards, and they want to walk past, they go, do you want to do that? I already been where you were. I can tell you what it was like when you was walking that bridge and you was on that past forest or whatever, and this is what it was, and I remember what it was like today. But over here, I just think it's going to be fucked up if you want to go over there. You're not putting they have the energy to go past you. They might even tell you, quite frankly, the landscape that you claim that you came from, how much has changed throughout the weathers and the seasons. You said, what was the shortcut that you said that you took? You said you took and then you went left of the boulder because what? Oh, yeah. There was a collapse that happened. That path is gone. We had to go through the other way. We had to take the left. We had to take the right instead of the left. To the left. But that passageway that you talked about has already crumbled. Yeah, there was a lot of weathering. There was a storm that happened a few years back, and there's a passageway that got collapsed. So we had to take the right way. You're telling us stories about the left way, and we're all telling you that we had to take the right way. And you're sitting here saying that, well, the left way is still the best way. But we're telling you that the left way has already collapsed. It's not the best way anymore. The right way is the best way. Are you willing to concede for someone who just now coming up and telling you, this is the way I had to do to get here, to get to you, by the way. To get to you, this is what I had to do. And so you saying, well, what you did was the wrong way to get to me. That's what we're fighting against in generations all the time. Every older generation likes to shit on the younger generation. And I get reasons why, but every younger generation also has a reason to shit on the older generation. And this is why I appreciate Mama for her being opened instead of being short-sighted, for being open enough to listen to what's going on and understand that she doesn't know everything and she's always continuing to learn. I love that. I appreciate Mama for that all the time. All the time. Just saying.
I've seen an attack on objective truth. I saw people treating people differently based on the color of their skin. I've seen a breakdown in critical thinking. Well, that's 3 right there.
Immigration, lockdown, and climate change, I think.
They hand a microphone to one of the people in the audience, and this guy starts to challenge him.
Yes. Can you explain your theory of free speech to the late Alexei Navalny?
Pardon?
Can you explain your theory of free speech to the late Alexei Navalny?
Can you explain your idea of free speech to a motherfucker that's been long dead? That's what I just heard. Not to the living in the room who claim that they know Alexei. Can you explain to Alexei, the nigga that's dead, your idea of free speech? Well, if you already know his idea of free speech, why not explain it to you and then you can tell me what you think about it? Why don't I just explain it and have a conversation and celebrate the people that are alive today? Why do I if I have a particular concept of war or strategy or leadership, do I need to sit there and think about me having a conversation with Marcus Aurelius or the great leaders of today? Think about what I just said for a moment. I'll give you a moment to think about that. What would be more prevalent to speak? Who would be more exact or more prevalent to speak to I can get information from? Me talking to the general who's leading the wars today in the current mindset and warfare today, or me sitting there and thinking about how would I explain my concept of war to Marcus Aurelius? This is the cognitive dissonance that I talk about. This is what I'm explaining.
For some reason, this guy's like, how dare you criticize freedom of speech in Britain when Russia is worse? I kid you not. That is essentially the logic here.
Okay, as in, why didn't J.D. Vance, who you referenced, why didn't he address that? Why didn't he address the fact that you could say everything you've said here tonight at the Valdai conference in Russia, and people like Alexei Navalny get murdered?
This is attacking the person's motivation, claiming you don't care about what's happening in Russia because you want to talk about free speech in the UK.
And can you reflect on the difference between British society and British free speech and what happens to people who dare to speak in Russia?
I can reflect on those two things.
Putin, not good with freedom of speech. Yes, bad. But what does that have to do with what is occurring in Britain? Why would you hold that against J.D. Vance? I'm not sure what the logic here is.
First of all, I would assume that Vance is using, and the Trump administration are using it as a strategic bargaining chip to stay stum to try and get Putin to the negotiating table. We're going to...
Sorry.
That is a working assumption.
Wondering if they have a bargaining strategy with Britain.
That's my assumption. Yeah. As far as free speech in Russia, yeah, it doesn't exist.
That does not negate from what is occurring in the UK.
But also the problem here is that we also have stringent speech laws that were applied where they shouldn't have. I mean, on
but
raw
we don't be in jail for being
on raw
here
numbers, more people.
if we're in Russia.
Hang on.
Even the audience.
Hang on.
Why is there this insistence to not look at a problem that is occurring in your own country?
On raw numbers, more people are jailed for speech violations in the UK than they are in Russia. They are.
That's partly because people don't open
No.
their mouths.
That's just on the raw numbers. Now,
Why are you ignoring that?
His death.
No.
Wait. We've got to get into this. Which numbers are you using?
People have been murdered.
Yeah.
And it's just remarkable.
Have you noticed that? Keep in mind, and we see this online, guys. We see this in panels. We see this in our daily. Keep in mind, he's the young person. The young person. He is to them. He's the representative of the youth. They ask him a question that he's not supposed to expound upon, and the moment he opens his mouth, they jumped on him. They ganged up on him on the stage and in the fucking audience. They ganged on him. If we're supposed to acknowledge and respect our betters and give proper cadence, are they being respectful as the example that we should be following? Are they giving a proper example by ganging up on a 26-year-old? But they asked him a question.
Logic claimed that how dare you criticize what is happening in the UK around freedom of speech when Russia is worse?
I'm not disagreeing. I don't. How is it an idiotic response?
Okay, let's just get the microphone to John.
You're assuming he's ignoring what's happening in Russia. He's even articulating what is happening in Russia and that it can happen.
Sorry, but what about the people who've been murdered?
Those things are bad. Of course, the Russians murdering their political opposition are terrible.
How many people have been murdered in Britain?
Peter Lynch.
Sorry?
Peter Lynch. Do you know that name? Peter Lynch. Does it mean anything?
No.
Okay.
Why does this frustrate the audience so much? Nothing he's saying seems controversial.
He shouted that the police called them traitors and held up a sign about the World Economic Forum. One of the conspiracy theorists you think is pretty wrong. He was sent to prison for 2 years, I believe it was, had a heart condition and hung himself in jail because he was afraid of being attacked.
That's not murder.
No, because he was
murder.
And that's the response. That's not murder, though. Does that indicate a problem?
Because he was afraid of being attacked by fellow inmates who Keir Starmer had labelled them all as far-right racists. So he was put in the conditions that led him to take his own life. I think that is wrong.
If you dare criticize freedom of speech in the UK, that somehow means that you aren't critical of Russia. That somehow correlates to your position on Russia.
I also, of course, think that Russia is awful and I would not want to bloody live there.
Okay, so politically, though, what I'm talking about, for example, people I've met,
yes,
and we're critical of Vladimir Putin.
Yes.
Anna, I'm so angry, I forgot.
Notice he just said,
He said, I'm so angry. Who are you angry at? Who are you targeting your frustrations towards? To Vladimir Putin or the young person who's supposed to be your future, possibly taking your job one day? Who exactly are you angry at? You ask him for his opinion, then you criticize for it. You're not even correcting him. Is this how the future of conversation is? But not for nothing, let's just be honest, folks. How often do we see this in our online panel debates today? No one needs to make a point. No one needs to make corrections. Oh, that's a great question that damn, Resla, you just asking yourself questions in the meantime. Hey, when was the last time that you actually was talking to somebody or you heard somebody on a panel or whatever, and they had to stop themselves, or after they said something, they stopped the panel to make a correction of something that they said because they actually gave wrong information? When was the last time? They said something either in real time and they stopped themselves and wait, that's actually not correct. This is what actually happened. Or they said something and the conversation started moving. They said, oh, I'm sorry. I don't want anyone to use the information that I just said, but I just thought about it. I just researched it, whatever. I was wrong. This is actually what just took place. I got these couple of words mixed up. This is what actually transpired. Just want to make sure I put that on the record because it's not just about me, but it's about everybody who's watching as well. When was the last time you saw that? I don't think I've seen that in probably, I'm going to be genuine. I'm going to be very generous. And probably 2 years. Probably 2 years. Close to 2 years. Probably 2 years. I'm not going to lie.
So angry, I forgot what I was going to say. Why are you so angry?
I'm so angry, I forgot.
Do you understand that I don't like Vladimir Putin? Do you understand that?
He even
Why
has
are
to
you so
stop
angry?
them and say, you understand, I don't like Russia. Russia bad. Russia bad. Let's talk about what's happening here.
No, but I don't understand that you're applying your mind to the following. Anna Politivskaya and Natasha Esmerova, two great journalists critical of Putin, in particular his war in Chechnya. Thirdly, Boris Nemtsov, and then Alexei Navalny.
Yeah.
In order, poisoned, then shot,
Yes.
shot, poisoned, and poisoned again, dead.
All terrible.
So these are people who challenge Putin's political power,
Yes.
not like that.
He never said he liked. Oh my God! He never said he liked Russia. He never said he agreed with anything. And you're stating all the terrible atrocities that Russia has done. Okay, cool. Does that go against the point that he turned around and then said, "Yeah, I don't agree with Russia"? You said all that shit. Listen, I think it's bad for you not to pay your rent. You know what? Yeah, then you turn around, you make this money, you spend it on going out to the club and all this food and OnlyFans, and you, of course, you paid your other bills, but you didn't pay your rent. You to Netflix, to you Zillow other people. You paid for the electric bill because you got to make sure you have your internet. You paid your phone bill because you like to have your phone bill, but you didn't pay your rent. Yeah, I agree. Paying your rent should be done. I'm just so mad that people that just don't pay their rent. I agree. People should pay their rent. Don't you understand that it's very bad that people that I agree. People should pay their rent. Stuck in a loop. Absolutely. You're absolutely correct.
pensioner you're talking about,
Yes.
these are people who've all been murdered. There are many, many more of them. And it seems to be absurd that you are highlighting weaknesses and bad spots in our record while completely ignoring the serial killing by the killer in the Kremlin.
Because the whole topic of this debate was around what is occurring in Western democracies.
Correct.
Russia's not a democracy. Why are we even talking about this?
Because the title is Democracy in Danger, and
There
Russia is a
you go.
democracy. So the point being, how am I? I'm not going to be able to fix any of that. I'm pointing out that if you want to preserve a democracy in the UK, these are the inherent flaws in it, and we need to address them.
Exactly. How could that possibly be upsetting to this audience? And yet it is, because then we get this.
Is there another country in the world, Connor, in which you would prefer to live? And if so, why?
Oh, now you're gonna say if you don't like it here, go to another country. Come the fuck on, really? We're still doing the whole if you don't like it, go somewhere else type shit. We're still doing this. You're barely going. Ooh, I was about to be nasty. Listen.
Can't you move there? Well,
how dare you?
And he thinks he was doing a mic drop there. How old was this material that you think that you was dropping a mic there? Look. If you don't listen, this is what I heard. Hey, there are another countries that you would like to go to, and if so, why don't you go there? That's what he did. I would give a response, well, if you think that there's a better country that can give you better Pampers, why don't you go there? But I digress.
Critique what is concerning to you about
I'm
your
just being
own
petty.
country. Why don't you just move away?
Let's well, I should let you respond to that, Connor, first of all, and then we'll get to the other questions.
Because one of my chiefest complaints is that the cultural and population churn has changed.
Question.
I am. There's no need to be rude.
If we do not discuss these things, that's how things get out
Disrespectful.
of hand. And we've seen that play out throughout history.
No. Hang on. I'm saying the reason I'm saying no. The reason.
No. You have to let him respond to you. We're talking radical empathy.
Yeah. Thank you.
So if you have something you care about, that's all the more reason to point out the mistakes being made.
The reason I'm saying no is because even though I don't think things are being run very well in this country at the moment, I would miss my family. I would miss the roads that I know.
That's you're asking for a lot. Yeah, you're asking for a lot. you're asking for way too much. People want things for free. It's funny. They don't want the best for free. They'll take the cheapest for free. They'll take the cheap things for free. They will take everything for free. If I said, hey guys, for $15, I can sell you a awesome pastrami sandwich, all the fixing, everything going on. It would be awesome, mouth-watering, fresh from the deli, hot, cold, the best dressing on it, everything. You know what they would do? I think I'm just gonna go down to my local pantry and just get me a ham and cheese sandwich, and I just be good. That's the equivalent. People will take shit for free because it's offered for free. They won't pay for something that actually is gonna be way more substance. That's the reason why. They're not gonna do that. Thank you for the offer though. Thank you. But yeah, we don't see that. I mean, we don't see that here. I can barely get people to stay in subscription. You think they're actually gonna fork over any money? That is something.
Sir, may I ask you?
At this point, I just do it for me.
If this was a gentleman of Pakistani origin who was complaining about some of the
Institutional
legal
racism.
Institutional racism, would you be saying to him, sir, if you don't like it, you can bugger off elsewhere?
The other opposing side of the debate jumps in and even agrees with it because it's such a good logical point.
My question is, because
No, you wouldn't.
No, answer the question, sir.
Which is proud of it, and you've spent the whole evening rubbishing it.
So now you spent the whole evening
Now it's rubbish.
rubbishing it by pointing out what's happening around freedom of speech, where people are actually getting arrested.
And so it is exactly that question: is there some other country in the world?
So people
think it's preferable.
people who have criticism to this country, even if they were born here and they love the area, they love their family and that here, if they have criticisms of the way it's run, they should just up sticks and leave. Is that?
No, of course the criticism.
What he's saying.
The whole evening rubbishing the country. I'm rather surprised you want to live here.
Okay, we've dealt with that. Thank you.
This individual is not budging. He's very clear, concise, and articulate. He knows why he is there, and it's no contest at all. I mean, I would say he exposes this entire room of British boomers.
He did. Sorry, thank you. Sorry about that. But I was sitting there like at the video, and I'm like, yo, this couples therapy thing is all over my timeline. We only saw it last night. I had to cut it from my actual stream because we can't view it. But damn, it's all over my damn stream right now. This shit is crazy. It's crazy. But even when I have conversations with people, right? People who complain about our country, whether they are born citizens or whatever. You know what when people who are foreign come here, I always say, you could always just go back to where you came from, right? You can always, or you can just, I don't even say really go back to where you came from. I say, you didn't have to stop here. You could go anywhere you want. You could be here and just be grateful for what you got. You could go to neighboring countries. You don't have to go back to where you came from. I get it. I grew up. I saw a different world. It's a different world than where you come from. So you don't want to go back there. I get it. Maybe somewhere else. Maybe it's not working for you here in the US, or maybe you need to go to Britain. Maybe you need to go to Australia. Maybe you should try your best bets over in Russia. You don't have to stop migrating. Be a caravan until you find the place that you want to put down roots. But the idea of going to the first place that you want to go to, and then you're going to sit there and settle and then bitch about it. I'm sorry. You are not Goldilocks. This one is too liberal. This one is too oppressive. This one is just right. You don't get it. You make roots wherever you are with the things that you can give you the best opportunity. This one doesn't give enough benefits. This one, stop. Don't do it. Don't think that this is what it's about. Country hopping. That's not what we do here. You make the most of what's available to you. What country you're in, what economic system you're in, because there's rich people in every economic system. Everyone. You can go to the poorest country, there's a rich person there. There are rich people there. So why aren't you making the most of it? Instead of hopping around pretending to be fucking Goldilocks. And not for nothing, you guys do that also when you're picking your spouses. This one is too ratchet. This one is too soft. This one I think is just right. And then, I guess I found that wrong, because once I decided to marry her, she switched up on me. The assessments for being able to live a decent life are done wrong. Because they're just so arbitrary. They're so fickle. A lot of people do not do enough thinking about what they really want. They just say, this is what I want, not. And this is why I say to people, you think about what you want. You never think about what you qualify for. I'd be happy. Let's just say if I get things out that comes to me. Because I say this for people that turn around and say, I attract all the negative, ratchet men, whatever. But that's what you attract, because that's what you qualify for. What are you doing in your own life that you qualify for something different? Guys, same thing. You can't turn around and say, man, I'm tired. Every time I can't hold on to the chick because she want to go outside. She want to be in the streets all day. Well, where'd you guys meet? In the strip club. What about your ex? Oh, I met her in the strip club too. You don't qualify for anything else because you can only pick up people who are in the strip club. This is not even a conversation about hoes and housewives because not for nothing, I think hoes can become housewives. There are different kind of housewives, but I think hoes can become housewives. Because the moment you decide that she don't have to work and you paying on the bill, she became a housewife. I'm just saying that's all it really takes. That's all it really takes. You have to ride with whatever the hell is going to be under the sun, and you have to be okay with that. Damn, I am running into a lot of money videos in my feed. I mean, I like it because I like talking about money, but shit, I'm running into a lot of stuff. Let me try to see if I can move some things around. What's this? What is this? What? Nothing because I'm not getting anything. All right, stop. We're never gonna go there. Looks like I got at least I got one of the this is look somebody has not an update, but somebody has a reaction to the video that I did last night. Now that video is stuff that I did last night was a members only stream, but I'll give you a little bit of recap and we'll go to this stream right here. By the way, for those who don't know, I am looking at O'Shea Duke Jackson. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. I've been watching him for so long. I've definitely been subscribed to him. I don't really watch as much as I should, maybe because he doesn't pop up on my timeline as much as it, but he is talking about this whole whites only thing. So I want to know what's going to be his thoughts on it. To give you a little bit of context, shout out to Mayo who put me on this particular theme. Where there is in Arkansas, there is a 40-person town that they want to just have whites only. Whites only. I give my perspective as how I feel like this town is going to get ruined, but also at the same time, the leader of their town is blonde hair, blue eyed, and he made his own particular type of signal that he puts on trees. That lets people know where they go into. I'm not calling him a Yahtzee. I'm just saying it sounds a little bit strange.
Town is being built in Arkansas. I didn't see this one coming.
Meet Eric Arval. He's the co-founder of RTTL, which is Return to the Land. This gentleman and a few other white families have purchased 150 acres in Arkansas and also some land in Missouri, and they want to separate themselves from the rest of us. If you're white, you're in. If you're black, you're considered whack. If you're Jewish, they can't do this. And if you're Asian, you can't persuade them. And if you're gay, not today. Yeah, pretty much if you're not white, straight, and Christian, you just can't get into the club.
Damn.
And recently, he pulled up to TMZ to basically
Shout out for the
confront
editing.
a pretty interesting interview about his beliefs. It was pretty long, but I want to highlight the most important parts of it.
You know, it's interesting. I'm hearing you that you want.
Guys, let me put it out there again. You're watching it, right? Whites only town finally get what it deserves. I don't even know what the guy deserved. I just covered it yesterday, so this is an update from what I've seen. So I don't know what extras they got on. I didn't even know he was on TMZ. The guy is blonde hair, blue eyes, running a town full of nothing but white people. No one else is allowed to be there. They still have internet and everything else, which I gave my own perspective about that, whatever. But I see gets what they deserve. I don't know what's about to happen, but I just find it a little weird that this white only town led by I'm going to keep holding this down, blonde hair, blue eye, whose dream was it that they should have people only blonde hair, blue eye, but also creates his own kind of symbols, like to run this town. I'm just saying, I'm not saying, I'm just putting out things that seem rather circumstantial.
this kind
can
of
only
purist
speculate.
European culture, and that it doesn't necessarily define you as racist, but the people you attract.
No. No. Like, he may not. He, as leader of this town, may not be racist. I'm gonna call him the mayor. He, as the mayor of this town, may not be racist, but he definitely has someone who is in his town who literally follows the old Aryan roots and the quote mustache man, who is absolutely, I'm gonna say from my point of view, racist, who does not even justify that quote the Holocaust was a bad thing. He doesn't even want to admit that the Holocaust was a bad thing. There's plenty of other bad things. Sure. But can we also say that that's a bad thing? He goes, I mean, if you want to say that, but he won't admit to it. Oh, okay.
Fact, whether you are or not, may well be hardcore racists. I mean, fair?
I still don't really know what you mean by racist. Valuing race in itself, I don't think there's any moral problem with that. Mistreating people because of their race, there's a problem there, sure.
Now, in this case, basically,
do we agree with that? Mistreating people for their race is a problem, but being racist is not a problem. I just want to know how you guys think about it. It's not about me, but how do you guys see that? It's not a problem to be racist, as if there won't be actions or behaviors that come with that. But treating people differently because of their race is a problem. Do you see the distinction in that? I'm just wondering. I'm asking for a friend.
the man is asking him, listen, we understand that you guys want to move away from the rest of the world who's not like you, but don't you consider that to be racist? And very cleverly, he avoids the question by pretending that he doesn't understand what racism is.
Got him!
Clearly he understands what it is, but what he's saying here is it doesn't really matter as long as we're not willing to admit that. We just want to be by ourselves, and that's the most important thing. So why is it racist? Like, why is somebody racist for wanting to do that? And he said that pretty much in the interview. So the interviewer decides to kind of rebuttal the question from a different position.
But you say valuing people because of their race. A lot of people would say you're devaluing people because of their race.
Well, just like to be something, you have to not be other things. To value something, you have to value it above other things. So if you value, Jewish identity and the Jewish people, then by default, you're going to value them above non-Jewish.
Hey, all right. So the doctor just came in, almost time to go. Hopefully everything is good over there. I just want to let you know, if you wake up later from the anesthesia but your jaw hurts, you need to ask for a refund. Just want to put that out there for you. Let me say that one more time for you. All right, one more time for you. If you go into the office, get your procedures done, everything is good. If you wake up and your jaw's hurting, ask for a refund. You got a little bit more than you bargained for. I just want to make sure I put that out there for you. All right, because I care about you.
People.
And so he says, well, listen, there are many people who love themselves more than they love other people. To be something means that you can't be the other thing. That's true for somebody who says they're Jewish or somebody who says they're black. But the problem with this argument is it also eliminates people. Like, you can be certain things at the same time. Just because you're not white doesn't mean that you couldn't be gay. Or just because you're black doesn't mean that you shouldn't be Christian. It's pretty much of a bad faith argument as to what he's trying to accomplish, but I get it. He just doesn't want to be around us. So he loves himself and his other people more than he loves integration, which that is his prerogative. And you'd be surprised who agrees with him.
It's been an uptick in racism since Trump. Y'all know
All right, let me do it before she gets in. I already mad that she even started out in the last words that she ended with Trump. I've been said it. There are plenty of the blacks that said it. That the worst thing was the integration of blacks into the country. They should have had their own shit. The same way how today there are definitely other cultures that have their own shit. I'll give you examples. I did this yesterday. I did it last night, yesterday, but I'm gonna say it again. You have Chinatown almost everywhere that you go. You got Little Italy almost every city that you go. Like you got Mexican Day parades and Puerto Rican Day parades and all kind of other stuff going on. There are definitely areas, little Chinatown, Jamaica Town. There's definitely things everywhere you go. I will say personally, I don't have a problem if the whites want to have their own town. You open it up that you can't have your own country. That's just not the way it works. But I am concerned with the words and the rhetoric that she's about to say. Number one, because let's just be honest, this looks like a TikTok. Number two, she has big hoop earrings, and for me, the bigger the hoops, the bigger the problem. This is not about to go good. I do not feel comfortable already that she's going to say something that's going to be very good.
Oh, that y'all know. Y'all seen that they building a whites only town. I want to say it's in Ozark or something like that. Missouri. Is Ozark in Missouri? I don't know. Only Ozark I know is the Netflix show. I never heard of Ozark before that. But they're building a whites only town. And it's a white creator on here. I'm going to post his picture. He was so flabbergasted. Oh, it's 2025. We shouldn't be doing that. Yes, the fuck they should. And please build more. Please build more. Let us know who you are. Because I want to know that I don't need to fuck with you.
Now, clearly you have people such as this lady who's from the black community like, look, we glad you're going to stay over there. We want to know exactly who you are. And you know what? I got to be honest to say I applaud people like this. And the reason why, it's not because of their position. It's because of their willingness to stand firm in their ground to say, hey, listen, this is really what we believe. We don't really want to be around you, and we're not trying to pretend to be around you. But hey, this is what we think. We believe this. And I think that's fair because so many times as blacks or minorities, we get around people who we think that we're past that zone, which is racism and prejudice, and only to find out later that this same person is talking behind your back, calling you this, calling you that, or is behind you struggling and something like that. So it's pretty good to understand that you know exactly how the person feels and they want to move very, very far away. And then there's also another problem with this whole
What's his other problem?
So a certain segment of the
Wait, what's his other problem? Because I already said this earlier, but I already said this earlier last night. You still plan on using the internet? You had a whole couple up there that met each other through online dating. You plan on raising up a whole community right now? It said it was only 40 people at the time when I watched the other one. I don't know what's happening now. How many other people have joined? You know, you just got to be white to join. That means not half white, full white to join. But when you still have the internet and all kind of other stuff going on, because I'm gonna base my experience based off of the fact that I have gotten to know people who are like Mormons. Once they get away from their little society, their little area, they go wild. They lose their shit. So the idea that you're gonna have these white women and these white guys, young people coming up in your community that you're building up, once they are, I would say indoctrinated, do whatever, but you're having them raised throughout the internet too. You're still giving them access to the internet. You didn't say, we're going to build this town, we're going to cut off access to the internet. That's not what you did. You still gave them internet access. That means that YNs is going to have fun with the girls from your town. Because they're going to want to go to the next Taylor Swift or whoever the hell the next going to be the person, and they're going to run across YNs, and they're going to get a triznat ran on them. They're going to get a whole train ran on them. And they not even going to know to the YN that got them pregnant, not because it was a train. That's one of the reasons, but also they're not going to be able to identify them even if cops is looking for it because all those YNs is going to have Pooh Shiesty mask on. They're not even going to know who's the one that nutted in her box, in her bottom, or on her face. She's not going to know. So they all going to run around. Pooh Shiesty mask. And she's not going to know shit. And it's going to be a wrap. And go send a little back to your little commune, thinking that it's one of the neighborhood boys. And they find out what? It's a girl. And that girl is dark as heck. And the truth will be there. Because here's the other thing. When you're building a small town, you got to make sure that you get doctors, that you get lawyers, that you get freaking midwives. You gonna need all this shit. Oh no. I'm not Mayo. I'm not sexualizing young black men as degenerates. If these young girls is gonna be online, they're not gonna be looking for the ones that are doing well. Because the ones that are doing really, really well are not really flaunting themselves on social media. The ones who are sitting there propagating and getting a lot of attention are YNs like NBA young boy. Unless they're interested in money. By the way, they're growing up in a town where they don't think that shit's taboo. They gonna get it ran through. Because if the young guys who are doing anything gonna run to these chicks and they're gonna say we come through a town where it's just pretty much whites only, it's gonna be like, no, I seen Get Out. I'm not gonna do it. I've seen Get Out. I'm not doing it. But those who are willing to just take the plunge anyway, let's be honest. Most of them I run into are YNs. My personal perspective on that one. They YNs. Those who got a head on their shoulders not go take that risk. And they gonna run into their own problem. They're gonna run into the problem that they had way back in the past. There's a reason why there are towns today that don't just have white people. There's a reason for that. There probably were generations way beforehand that only had white people. Why are those places already existing? This guy thinks he's making something that's revolutionary, that's new. It's not new. People have tried before. The same way how black people try to have neighborhoods and the shit got gentrified. People have tried this. It's not going to work.
The black community is up in arms. Tell me something I don't know. They're upset at the fact that a group called Return to the Land has set up an all-white settlement in an area of Arkansas. This group is now working on setting up another settlement in an area in Missouri. Now, I'm not one for segregation, believe me, but I believe I'll live next to whoever wants to live next to me. And if they don't, that's their business. But let's not act like black people haven't been segregating themselves for years.
But wait, it gets worse.
Let's not forget, a couple years ago, Ashley Scott and Renee Walters got together and created their own community, their own black community. They wanted to create generational wealth and keep their legacy and culture. So I'm confused. What's the problem when the white people want to do it? And I know what you're going to say. You're going to try to bring up history and that victimization mentality.
That's not true. I do know what Ashley Scott is.
That. We are not doing that. That happened many years ago. We're talking about now.
So both of these are black creators on TikTok who are saying, listen, these white people have every right to move away from blacks. Because why? Nobody says
they do.
It's the wrong thing when blacks do it. Now, again, when you listen to an argument like this, it seems that the argument is based on meritocracy and parity. But unfortunately, it's not. You see, the reasons why whites want to be away from blacks, it's not a power issue, okay? It's not an abuse issue. I don't think that none of these whites can say that I want to be away from blacks or Hispanics or Jews or gays, because I feel like, I'm in danger. I hit a ceiling in my career. No. You want to know?
Well, I'll have to hear what O'Shea says about it, but he never stated there was a particular reason. Well, yeah, he didn't really say there was an all-out particular reason as to why they were doing it. Outside of they just believe that they are original people, that they should be settling, that they should be doing whatever. But given what we've seen across the globe and even whatever else we talked about, the whole erasure of white people and everything else like that, like I see some of the reason that could be a case for it, but let me just not say they, he has been rather ambiguous as to the reason why, outside of just saying he wants white, normal Christian people. So I'm not gonna say anything more than that. I'm just saying he knew what he was doing was already going to incite something, and there's a reason why this hasn't already been done already. That's all I've been saying.
With the reasoning that he used, well, I'm tired of this system failing in the LGBTQ.
You're right. He did say he didn't want gays around. He said the system is failing. He said he didn't want gays around. I'm trying to figure out how he's going to be able to regulate that once government vehicles are going to start running its sound.
Those are the arguments. Now, typically, when blacks moved away from rights, like we have in Mound Bayou, Mississippi, it was to create their own city away from oppression. And that's why Mound Bayou was the first black city in the country. And what you saw in Mound Bayou was something that you ended up seeing in other places, such as Haiti and North Carolina. We also saw this in Tulsa with Black Wall Street. The ability of blacks to fund their own situation, start their own businesses, start their own social groups for fear of discrimination. And eventually, we already know what happened with Mound Bayou and Haiti and North Carolina, Raleigh districts and Tulsa. They ended up doing what the blacks feared, which is destroying them. These white people are not oppressed. Black people still leave the United States out of that fear. Now, we don't have to say that that fear is qualified in your honest opinion, but many blacks do it for many reasons. I live in the continent of Africa, and many strong pro-blacks have left the United States out of some level of fear, all right? Because of oppression, they feel like they have more opportunity in Africa than they do there. And that's the same reason why blacks wanted to buy the land to basically build their own communities. It was not because they hated whites.
Well, I mean, to put up something against OJ, like you also did say pro-blacks. Even though they're here in America, you said pro-blacks. You didn't say anything about pro-American. So, and this is my thing, and you guys have heard me say this before. I am American first. My nationalism is the thing that I go for and I represent. Because when I go everybody else, and when I go anywhere else, they're looking at me as an American. The other things come down later, but they are automatically probably going to be annoyed with me first. Let me stress that, as being American. The moment they hear my talk, my accent, whatever, everything else flies in afterwards. The idea that I am black first, and then you just want to disregard nationalism, I find that to be problematic.
Or they were trying to preserve their blackness because of the same reasons why the whites are. No, the whites are doing it for a completely different reason. And I believe within that reason, there is a superiority complex. And that's why they're also doing it, because they believe that their culture could be better than somebody else. That can be inferred in that. And that's typically what traditional races think. So when you get blacks arguing on, this particular side of the coin, they're trying to say, well, the blacks are doing it. Nobody says anything. And now the whites are doing it. But you're not arguing from the same position, which I feel is completely negligent and irresponsible. But wait, there's more.
Okay.
Mr. Arval is quite active on X. He says this: we've been blown away by the level of support. White Americans want and deserve our own spaces, and we're going to do what it takes to.
Did he say species? No, he said spaces. I could have swore O'Shea just said species. I had to turn around and say, that's not what I read. He said spaces. Come on now. Come on. But he says, if you're, you know what? Oh, she's gonna read it.
Secure them. If you use Ethereum or USDC and you want to support me to keep it up, here's this long thing there. He also says the same thing. Some folks have expressed they'd like to donate through Bitcoin and Tether. Bitcoin, thanks for support. It's needed and appreciated. Now, this is interesting. When you want to start your own community,
Mayo, I'm not sure what your upset is, because I literally say, like, I am American first. I put me being an American before anything else. No, from the way this man started talking, I could have swore he just said species. Now I'll go back to make sure that we hear it, and you tell me what you think.
They'd like to donate through Bitcoin and there. He also says the same thing. To do what it takes to secure them. If you use Ethereum or USDC, is quite active on X. He says this: we've been blown away by the level of support. White Americans want and deserve our own spaces, and we're going to do what.
Could have swore he just says species. Anyway, that's what I'm saying.
What it takes to secure them. If you
I'm not
use
mad about
Ethereum
being
or
wrong on it.
USDC and you want to support me to keep it up, here's this long thing there. He also says the same thing. Some folks have expressed they'd like to donate through Bitcoin and Tether. Bitcoin, thanks for support. It's needed and appreciated. Now, this is interesting. When you want to start your own community, you do so by begging for donations. This is different from when our ancestors did it in Black America. You see, we couldn't sit back and beg for support on Twitter and get money on our Bitcoin for free from random white folks that we didn't know to build what we want to see.
I'm gonna be honest with you. So, this is the question I would just ask to I guess to O'Shea's point. There were white people. I'm not saying what the coverage or what the amount of white people were, but when Black Lives Matter, take that however you want, was doing their own thing, and how many white people were supporting Black Lives Matter that would have donated something like this? Also, how many spaces would you say that Black people have tried to make, quote, their own towns? I made this case for so long. There are plenty of abandoned towns, abandoned settlements that if we wanted to, Black people could collectively put together to rebuild towns, to do all existing towns. And there's no reason why you cannot say that's not a thing, because literally immigrants who came here, not old school, you're talking about recent immigrants who came in illegally, have literally gone to abandoned towns and rebuilt that motherfucker to have literally immigrant towns. If that's the case, what was stopping Black folks, O'Shea? It was stopping Black folks from pulling together from neighborhoods or whatever the case may be, or people who were doing well enough, not wealthy, but doing well enough to be able to establish town settlements strictly being done by Black people. What was stopping them? And if you had people like in Black Lives Matter, you had white people who were willing to progress and willing to applaud and willing to even help and associate in getting Black people their own spaces, their own towns, their own settlements. You don't think they would have donated? The question is, why couldn't they raise the funding or come up with the concept of the land, which is available? The U.S. is vast still. I don't know why people pretend like the U.S. is fucking so small. It's vast. Why couldn't they turn? Think about it. We got this white 40 people who can turn around and build a settlement. What was stopping Black people who've already been here for so long? You know, they want to say they for 500 years. Why? Even though we know, whatever. But why is it that couldn't be done? We are in 2025. Why is it that couldn't be done? We have more Black millionaires today than ever in history. Almost every year we have a brand new 2 to 3 Black new millionaires. I'm being very stupid when I'm saying 2 to 3. There's really more. So why not pull together to make? And the truth of the matter is that maybe they don't want to build something that's not going to be sustainable. But then the question is, why is it not sustainable? Because maybe the right type of people are not going to be people that actually show up to live in said community. And I kin this too. This is me, my perspective, my thoughts. Feel free to disagree. Feel free to give me your own opinion, so maybe I can think a little bit more on it. But I kin this to Atlanta being called, quote, the Black Mecca, but then turn around and have people turn around and say it's so washed down, it's so watered down, it has so much problems because people who came from other places like New York City, my city, went down there and totally effed up the entire structure, culture, with it, the way it was. Because Atlanta did not stay Atlanta. The same way how I say it's a problem for a lot of other places. I have a problem for people come from one place, go to another place, and then pretty much demand that place act like the place that they came from. I have a problem with that. Same way how I have a problem in government, right? If you're born here, you should be upholding the American structure, traditions of your state, or even the nation itself. I have a problem. Me. You don't gotta akin this to anybody else. I'm talking about me, Resla. I have a problem when people who are not born of this country go into politics to make this country more like their country. I have an issue with that. You might disagree for whatever background you come from, but I have a problem with that. People who are not from this country getting into government to turn our country more into their country. That's just my thought.
No, you build what you want to see by actually doing the hard work, establishing commerce, establishing, the things in the city, like what happened in Mount Bayou. But clearly, Mr. Arval is not doing so. At the same time, he wants to be away from the rest of the world. But at the same time, he doesn't have any money to fund his dreams. So he's no different than any other scammer out there, in my honest opinion. You want somebody else to pay for your segregation. When the blacks did it, we had to pay for our own separation. And many of us who come to any part of the world,
we're not separated.
Be it Uganda, be it Ghana, people are working, saving their own money in doing so. Even coming back to the United States, working some more, saving up their money, and then coming back, reinvesting, and then creating those systems that make it valuable. Now, you have this 150 acres of land. I really believe that you don't have a whole bunch of skill there or anything to market to the rest of the world. And that could be true. But when I see people like Mr. Arval, I'll tell you what really happens with folks like this. There's typically a bunch of guys who are unskilled, who don't have money, who feel like the world has betrayed them. And well, I'm not going to say that they're losers, but I can guarantee that they're not very successful people, because there are many people who share his particular mentality, but there's a problem. There are certain groups of white people who share his mentality.
Mayo, I'm sure they grifted. I'm sure they're grifting online. Listen, this only started with 40 people. I'm pretty sure they are grifting this shit out of the community. I'm pretty sure they cannot even move on to it until they had somebody who was able to build those houses. Did you not see the houses? They were so tiny. They bought all this plot of land, and the houses are so small. It's crazy. That's why I say when they start building families and they need to expand, and they're not getting rid of the internet. See, the one thing you say about Mormons is that Mormons cut a lot of people off from the internet. Jews, Hasidic Jews, cut a lot of people off from the internet. That's what we still like to this day. Like, damn, you still got a flip phone? Like, they cut a lot of people off from social media, but they decided these people decided they want to create their settlement and still hold on to a lot of internet. That comes with a lot of curiosity.
That don't even want to be around him. And why is that? Because a guy like Arval can't do anything for anybody. Even the greatest white supremacists and racists can't be around a person that doesn't have an.
Do you know how much a 3D printer costs? Well, let me say a 3D printer to build a home. Let me see my last I was reading about this. It was about maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks ago. I think there was a guy who spent almost $500,000. It could be less. I'm not gonna lie to you. He spent almost $500,000 to build himself a 3D printed home, and that 3D printed home was built out of concrete. So, do you think that these 40 people coming in to this small town can afford a 3D printer that can create homes, and I'm talking about the guy who bought a $500,000 printer, 3D printer, to build a house completely and utterly out of concrete. Mayo, you said it's millions to buy the machine. I believe, like, I don't believe the article that I was reading, and I'm trying to remember, it was weeks ago. I don't believe that they said it was $1 million, but I'm just telling you, like, it was, even, let's just say it's $1 million, to be able to still build now settlements in multiple units. They wouldn't be using wood because 3D printers are not creating wood. It needs to be structured and sound enough and solid enough so them be able to get through everything. You understand how long it's going to take? No one, I can tell you right now, there were nobody in there, and I'm just going to say it, their village, so that's pretty much what it is, their village, that was an engineer. No one was an engineer. There were barely any carpenters. You said it cost him $500,000 to have the housing printed. Oh, yeah, they're fucked. They're fucked. Yes, sir. You're right. They're absolutely grifting online. They have no choice. They don't have the resources.
Anything going for them. And a lot of these guys that are moving into this community, I can guarantee they're lowly skilled, lowly educated. Nobody left their Wall Street job to go move to Arkansas with a bunch of guys they don't know that may or may not have criminal records. They may or may not be, all kind of weird things. We don't really know. And I'm going to be honest. A lot of people just don't care. And honestly, if these are the kind of people that want to move to a place that nobody knows in Arkansas, in Missouri, I say, hey, man, congratulations.
Have at it. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
I hope that is very, 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 very successful for you. I hope you get all the country dirt land cheeks that you can get for the rest of your life. I mean, seriously. And the reality is, it's probably going to fail anyway. And like I said, a bunch of other groups come to America, come to the part of the world and keep their strong traditions while integrating with other people. I'll tell you a group that does it very well. Indians. You see Indians come to America.
He's about to jump into Indians, but I'll be honest with you, Indians are so low key. It's not even funny. Indians are more low key than Asians are. Indians own so much business, so many housing. So they're big in the real estate game. They own so much and they don't talk. They spend a shit ton of money too, but they are so quiet. It's ridiculous. So when I hear people talk about, these white people, I'm like, stop it. So these white people are looking at Asian people. When they look at Asian people, they're not just thinking about Orients. They're looking at the West Indians too. When I say West Indians, I ain't talking about those from the islands. I'm talking about people in Bangladesh. I'm talking about people like Istanbul. They out there. Pakistan. They making money. They are killing it out there. They don't even know. Like, you guys, there are a lot of you guys you don't even know. They are out there and they're killing it. They are owning so many businesses. They're in ground, they're in water, they're in electric, they're in freaking technology. You think that all your Indians are out and fucking doing help desk. They're not. They're killing it out there. But most people don't see them because they're so fucking quiet, visibly. But structurally, they're out there doing it. Now, Asians are out there visibly and constructively doing so. They're doing it. They're seen. Indians are not being seen. And a lot of people do not pay attention to that. I have. I've been around Indians for a while, so I see what they do. And a lot of people don't get it. A lot of people do not get that. So there goes my video on that one. And by the way, if you didn't know, that was O'Shea Duke Jackson. Be sure to check out his actual channel. He's got other stuff going on as well. I know he does like celebrity drunk. I think it was like on another channel. He's got like a dating show and other stuff like that. Great content creator, has been at it for a long time, been at it for years. So shout out to him doing so. I think this is actually my first time actually covering an O'Shea video, because I really don't do reactions to things like that. But shout out to him. But the world is vaster than what people think. But as for me, like I said, I like to look at I like to look at what people are doing for structuring, what people use for the future. I like money. I don't really just look at it like politics or blah blah blah, because it's something you can get everywhere, and really the narrative doesn't change. The theory, the concept of the theory that I talk about is really, this is what the world is doing. What are you doing to change shit? Because there's no sense in you really looking at the world change and then looking at your own life and you say, well, the world's changing, but I'm not. Why aren't you taking advantage? Like, there's so much stuff that I'm doing, even for myself. And I don't even really tell you guys because, quite frankly, why do you care anyway? You just want to see conflict and drama for the most part. Not saying all of you, but let's be honest. A lot of people just want to come through to see a whole bunch of drama. And I'm just like, you're failing, because there are people who are doing it who don't need to be seen, who don't need to have their asses kissed. And they're killing it every day. You said that's smart of them? They've been doing it for so long. When we talk about people who have gas stations, IHOPs, freaking gas stations, IHOPs, cigar lounges, cigar lounges, freaking not Starbucks, but Dunkin' Donuts. Like they're real estate. They're heavily in real estate, tech. Like they're killing it out there, and most people want to make make fun of them for whatever, but they don't even realize how much they're building. They are still some of the most people who build themselves up by having family all together, all of them in one house, and then they spread out and they take over the neighborhood. Most people don't look at it that way, because the way how our current generation is set up is that we push the family apart. The family doesn't think about staying in the neighborhood and building the block and buying the house next door or anything. They build up their families to move further away and only see each other on holidays and certain weekends, things like that, or seasons. Like, that's not the way how Indian people move. That's not the way how Asian people move. Again, I don't have a problem with white people doing it. I say the same thing for black people. Black people should be doing it. I think this should be a culture. This should be a culture for family. Indian people, Asian people still have a culture for family. And I think part of the American culture that we have here for whites, for blacks, I'm going to say mainly for whites and blacks. I still see a lot of Hispanic people who still do it for family culture. They stick around. They're not looking to just move away to get away as far as possible. Yeah, I agree. The world is freaking out about it. And I think, like, I look at them and I go, why are you freaking out about something that literally kept people sustainable for so long? And that is the culture of family, the culture of a network. Your first network is your family. Your first network is not your business. And a lot of people have lost touch with that. I think we need to go back to a nation, a family first kind of culture. We're all fucked up. We have more people right now that are born and bred here or have become American, and their first thoughts is to worry about what's going on outside the country, outside of their family. And I'm looking at them and I'm going, what the fuck are you doing? I've seen people with vast families that don't hang around with them. Last time they talk to their own sister, their own brother, their own cousin. They can only remember the last time they saw their mom or their dad. Why? You live in the same state. You live in the same country. Why is it you don't know what's going on with your family? That's something that's happening here in our system. But your culture should keep you together. For what I've seen, for the most part, Indian, Asian, and even some, not a lot, not every, let me just say it that way. I'm not even going to say a lot. It's not every, but Hispanic cultures, they keep their family together. They don't need to live in the same state, but they visit each other enough to know that they're not too far to make sure that if something happens, if a situation happens, if there's something going on, they can be there to support. They don't think about going to the other side of the globe to get rid of people. That's my own personal thing about it, my own observations. Feel free to have your own take on it. I'm not here to change minds. I'm not here to be convinced. I'm not here to convince your mind. I'm just letting you think outside of what you believe to be the truth, because what you believe is not the entire truth. There's more to the story. Whether you choose to accept it or not is your business It ain't mine. You choose to be where you are in the world. I'll choose to be where I am. We don't need to agree. But anyway, that's gonna be this daytime, the streams for myself. I'm gonna let you guys go. It is 5 p.m. my time. I want to make sure I get some food in my stomach. I also want to make sure I record for something else that I got going on for today. And I'm going to check up on a couple of things today. And if I feel inclined, maybe I'll do a stream for today. Don't hold me to it, but I do appreciate everybody who's actually being for today. And if anything, I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for everybody who's actually showed up. Hopefully you found this episode pretty entertaining. And I'll have to see what the hell's about to get flagged or not for copyright, because usually I do not look at videos, but we'll see what's going on. I appreciate you guys. I will see you in the next one. And of course, take care of yourselves. Later, y'all.